All right, I think we're live now.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, I think we're live, and we're joined today with Cringe Walker. How are you, sir?
Technically still at work during a snow day, working. I'm 3D modeling a fucking fireplace.
Cool.
Nice.
Not bad.
Hello. Hi, Hayran. How are you today, sir?
Hello. I'm not bad. I've been dragged away from a big bash of Star Wars Battlefront 2 for this, so at least it's on topic. Yeah.
Yeah. We might cover the Star Wars games because we're going to be covering all sorts of aspects, and then we got we got a big fan, probably one person who knows as probably more Star Wars than I do. Zenn Chan, how are you, sir?
I should say I know basically nothing about the expanded universe, like the novels and all that. It's mainly like the mainline stuff.
Fair enough.
I'm not that level of knowledge.
See, I'm a bit reversed. I know about the expanded universe, and I'm just a bit clueless on like all the new stuff. But then I've sort of I've sort of distanced myself from like Star Wars brand recently.
You know what? I respect that. I completely respect that. I actually got the Thrawn trilogy for Christmas from Arelnev, so I will be digging into that at some point. Sadly, it was a Disney branded reprint, so I'm not exactly happy. I was hoping I'd get like some like ancient like books that are older than I am that has been like dug out of someone's attic. I was hoping for some shit like that. I like it when I get secondhand books. They've got a lot of character.
That's good. And there seems to be someone in chat who knows you, Zenn.
That's Colink. Yes, he's one of my regulars on Twitch, which I'll be doing as soon as the stream's over.
But that's cool. Could you send me over a link to your Twitch channel so I could put in the description below for
Absolutely.
people watching later on?
Well, hopefully all of the people from my Twitch will be coming here because I popped this in the Discord as well.
Oh, cool! Thank you.
But if I can leech any more viewers from you, I'll take them.
That's right. I haven't got. I know. I literally you leech it from me, and then I leech it from Hayran, and I guess you leech it from AA and Sargon.
No one follows me to leech.
Yeah, and Prince Walker, you have your VR stuff.
No one watches my channel. Sad face.
No, that's not true. I watch it.
I actually did watch a whole hour of Pavlov of you. Cringe. It was great.
I don't actually. I know. Am I good at it or shit?
I don't know. Well, I've never played it. I played Counter-Strike. If I was playing CS, you'd be raped.
I mean, from what I know about you, Cringe Walker, you definitely have a place like in AA's potential like one day online university. You could definitely teach like biology.
Oh yeah, as anyone
raises drink, and I will say no more. I'll say no more.
It's a bit of the down low, but I do some genetic engineering for fun because I'm not a scientist, but I have a master's of science.
He showed me after you left on the other night when we were playing Minecraft. You left, and then he showed me and Jaws like the weird like genetic engineering stuff he gets into, and my mind was really blown.
I plan on making a dinosaur sometime soon in like next 2 years.
Yeah.
I do indeed currently have silk growing out of yeasts.
Oh, I saw that.
I thought you were going to keep that secret, but okay.
Well, that's not a secret. I put it on Twitter, but I'm not going to broadcast to anybody that I've found a way to crack into the Chinese silk market. But anyway,
Chinese silk market.
It's made super COVID.
That's what I was saying to him because he was talking to me about this, and I'm like, mate, this is literally like the first 5 minutes of a horror movie. Like, before like you skip an hour in, it's basically The Last of Us.
Yeah, yesterday I forgot to wash my hands and I started eating pizza. I realized I probably ate a little bit.
Oh, that's not right.
I'm sorry, but is who's more dangerous here, Cringe Walker or Klaus Schwab? I mean,
yes, the icon is on purpose. Yeah, I mean, I might incidentally start shitting silk in a few weeks, but we'll not. Luckily, I put in a termination antibacterial gene, so I know how to kill it if that happens.
Christ.
Always, anything you breed, always give it a kill switch. Always.
Of course.
Anything you breed. What if you breed dogs?
What if you breed people?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
Okay. For future reference, make sure you put fucking Cringe Walker's eventual progeny through an X-ray machine. Make sure they don't have a bomb inside them.
Before I start the literal Clone Wars, let's get back to stuff.
Actually, that's Lutheran. I like to place an order for 500,000 clones.
We'll get them going.
Can't do that.
A grand army of the Commonwealth. Yes, it is criminally. This is criminal. This is criminal stuff. That we get such low viewership on these streams because this is the cutting edge level of content that we've been wanting. Yeah, we've got a real Bond villain on here, guys.
Well, we're the next generation, man. I mean, Sargon's and Tim Pool and all them are off going and making their own websites and stuff. So the YouTube domain is ours.
Yeah,
Right. God fucking help it.
As soon as I can muster up the will to actually edit shit.
Yeah, me too. I can do so much if I had willpower.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's easy. Don't write a script. Edit on the fly.
No, that's the problem though. It's the editing itself. I can't stand it. I can't. Like, I open up the editor and I stare at it for 5 minutes and I close it. I'm like, I can't be fucked.
Takes a while to get used to. Yeah. Learning.
I love scripting. I love recording. I love everything except the editing.
Yeah, I've got Final Cut on my Mac, so when I've done like a couple of videos, I've done my editing on that. But like just editing it together like from a script, it took me a whole day. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't be asked to do it.
When you start making the big boy bucks like me, you can just pay someone on Fiverr to do it for you.
That'd be nice.
Just do the lines and let them do the rest.
Well, yeah, I'd love to be a Bond villain like you.
Wait, I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
I'd like to be a Bond villain like you, but unfortunately, we can't always be like that. We'll see. They go. People already placing orders in the chat for you to make a bioweapon. Cringe Walker.
No bioweapons yet. No bioweapons. I'm just here to make some friendly clothes and building materials, and maybe get some shekels off of that.
Yeah.
Cringe Walker, I'm gonna send you an image. I want to ask you, what are the chances you could bioengineer this creature for me? As a pet, roughly the size of a squirrel.
Literally, all I do is just punch out a few genes here and there. It's not full fucking.
You've got to dream of the future, man. You've got to dream of the future.
The sad thing, the funny thing is, I actually would know how to do this, but let's not talk about that.
All right, so okay, guys, Star Wars stuff.
Yes,
so,
sorry.
So we're nearly 10 minutes in. We better talk about Star Wars. So this is the thing.
It's the preamble.
This is the thing. Okay, I think it's safe to assume that it comes as no shock that Star Wars has been taken over by SJW maniacs who are really racist against white people and are really, really sexist against men and who are just batshit crazy.
I think that's going a bit far, but I think it's closer to say that Disney are just listening to like whoever they think is going to make them money. I mean, let's not forget, like you say race against white people, but they also edit out Finn like on the posters for the Chinese releases. So I really think it is just them looking at the money and going like, right, who's gonna give us which one of these sliders can we shuffle around for absolute maximum profit?
The thing, I'm not saying they actually believe. I mean, this is the crazy thing. They do it for the internet clout. I mean, to be honest, when I say race, I'm talking about like that. The author of the High Republic, which is this latest installment of Star Wars through comics, and before anyone accuses me of, oh, you're just repeating that you hate it because you haven't read it, and I say, yes, I have read it. I have gone through the comics of late, and it is shit. It is so shit. It is one of the worst things I've ever seen of Star Wars content. I mean, dare I say, I'd rather watch The Last Jedi several times over than go through the comics of that. Not joking, and we'll go through.
On.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you think that's bad, Harry, and you're gonna be fucking seething by the end of this stream because I'm gonna be offering up defenses of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I know. No, Zen. Every time I'm on with you, I expect really bad takes. So don't worry.
Yeah. By the way, Zen is a fan of the new trilogy.
No. I like precisely 50% of the new trilogy. I like Force Awakens, and I like half of The Last Jedi.
I'm in the same camp there. I liked Force Awakens as a reintroduction to the series, but then the next director was as we call a retard in the French language.
Yes,
I think it's unfair to attribute it all to the director because apparently his other movies are really good. Like I keep getting told to watch Knives Out. Knives Out. Apparently, Knives Out is actually amazing.
No, a whole plot point in that is that someone mishears the name Hugh as you, and so they accuse the wrong person. It's not good.
That's amazing.
It's shit.
I am deaf. Oh, I'm watching that now. God damn it! I need to go watching it.
It's like you wave a magnet over a VCR, which what security system uses VCR these days? But you wave a magnet over it, that erases it. It's retarded. R-worded, sorry.
It's a retard. We are French. Yeah. We say retard.
No, it's fine. I'm autistic. I can give you all the R-word pass.
Yay.
You hear that, YouTube? Please don't delete the stream.
It's got an IQ of 10.
I've already got a strike now.
That explains my tics.
Oh, no.
I've got a
Wait, really?
I got you know that stream you were on, Zen, last time you were on here with me? It's been taken down.
Really? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's been taken down. Yeah, apparently because it was you and Cringe Walker, and then Cringe Walker. We started producing stats on a recent act of democracy in your country, and looking at some of the in-depth figures, and that was what got me banned.
I like that. Literally, we looked at statistics, and those statistics got you banned. I love it.
Yeah,
what were the statistics again?
Well, you know what? You need to challenge them then. You need to challenge that, Al.
Yeah, we were looking at, I think we were looking at Wisconsin and Michigan. Oh, no, there was Wisconsin one because that was the dodgiest one that we could find in Georgia.
Was that the F? Was that the one where, like, the F?
As we know, the Democratic Party does all things in the best interest of the American
Let's get off this topic for the sake of
let's get off
Al's channel.
Before we do,
Star Wars.
Yeah, before we do, I just want to say to save the stream, Arve Biden, he is the most popular man in America. Right.
Yeah. The Democrats did nothing wrong. They only just fortified the election. They fortified it really hard and maybe over the top.
I'm gonna fortify you, motherfucker.
Oh, no. Star Wars.
I'm gonna fortify that so hard, baby.
I'm gonna fortify this trilogy if we don't get onto it.
Actually,
I think this trilogy's had enough fortifying, quite frankly.
Like literally, no joke. We do need to fortify the Star Wars trilogy because, I mean, I just put out.
Can we use fortify the way Smurfs uses the word Smurf? Just replace any kind of verb with fortify.
I've said this for a while now, but let's just use like German words for things that are naughty. But anyway, let's go on.
Yes. So I mean, I've laid out my issues with Star Wars. That it's basically the people who are now at the helms of it. I don't believe are following the franchise the way that George Lucas envisioned it. Like many of the people who worked on the expanded universe follow. The people who worked on the expanded universe and at Lucasfilms for decades. They're just not honouring the and sort of consistent with the universe itself, but Yeah,
am I gonna have to be the one who stands up and says
true.
George Lucas is a fucking hack, and that the further away we get from him, probably the better?
Well,
No,
this is the mentality. This is the mentality, which is because this is the thing. When Disney bought Star Wars, like literally, that was the mentality of yes, it's going to get better. But has it got better? Has it got better, Zen?
Depends on what you're referring to. I mean, Star Wars' history has been an eternal up and down.
Sure.
See, Rise of Skywalker aside, Clone War, because I don't even believe that Rise of Skywalker counts as a piece of art. It is 100% corporate creation. I don't even think it deserves to have like any kind of ranking.
But that's the future of Star Wars at the moment. That is the future.
Well, you say that, but The Mandalorian's fucking great.
Yeah, but at the same. I know. This is where
I will fight you on this, rock boy. Okay.
I will agree with you, Zen. I do like The Mandalorian, and the reason why I like it is the story itself aside. It's not so much the story what I like about it. It's the fact that number one, it doesn't inject itself with identity politics.
So
it really doesn't. I mean, I was expecting something about like aliens and civil rights with aliens and all that sort of crap or something. Nothing like that, which I respect, and I think I'd say thank you, Dave Filoni, for not fucking this up.
Sorry,
phone dude.
Okay, let's. Yeah, he's muted himself. Okay, so that's what I like about it. Like just on that alone. And so it doesn't feel like it feels that the main purpose of The Mandalorian is the story, whether you like the story or not. It tries to tell a story, focus on a story. But where I have an issue with the new sequels, when I say new sequels, I'm gonna refer to The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, two bits, and also the High Republic. What they have is they have a story, but the story is secondary. The main purpose is to all I can really see on this is to virtue signal and to basically astroturf these characters, just force these characters to our forefront, telling us they're important, and then undermining previous characters. Now we all know about, I think Luke Skywalker was not represented in the new trilogy in a good light, full stop.
Okay, it's time for me to step forward here. All right. I prefer sequel Luke.
Right
So
now,
no.
So what?
No, because the reason why sequel Luke is terrible and is absolutely one of the worst things that they did. It's number one, first of all. And this is I'm going to get this one out of the way because a lot of people have covered this. The fact that he goes to effectively Red Wedding, let's say his nephew, in fear that he might succumb to the dark side, bearing in mind what Luke went through in the original trilogy, just completely undermines the whole character, because he is a force that believes in redemption, doesn't believe that evil is like this manifested thing that's what makes a person is evil. We can see the light in people. So there's one bit where I see on that is the complete contradiction of the character and of the ultimate character arc. When Rey turns up with his father's lightsaber, he flings it away like it's like a fucking rotten banana peel. Where else? I mean, I've literally I think my brain has sort of chucked out all the memories of it because we were so in cinema.
Well, he essentially says he essentially says at one point as well, the Jedi were bad because they let Darth Vader win, which is such a stupid statement.
It's a very simplified statement, but are you saying that the Jedi of the prequels were a good thing? They were fucking terrible.
Compared,
that's the entire point of the prequels: is that the Jedi are corrupt and shite. And that it's their fault.
Just bring in an empire. Just bring in the empire. Just let everyone die and go into slavery.
Hey, I'm not. You're using an either or fucking fallacy here. Okay, it's not either the Jedi or the Empire. There is a balance here, and that's the point.
The purpose of the prequels was to establish that you had a situation where the Jedi were too integrated in the system of the Republic. So they were like, I mean, we talk about on this channel, like the cathedral, like the media and the think tanks and everything. In Star Wars universe, basically Jedi were the sort of enforcers of the cathedral. And what you see in like in Revenge of the Sith, I think where this is where, again, you wouldn't see this in the current people, because if you look at the current people who are making Star Wars, like, I mean, if you go on like their Twitter page, you can sort of see what sort of people they are. They don't have any self-reflection. They don't self-reflect. One thing I do respect in Revenge of the Sith was there was a nice little scene where Padme and Anakin, they sit down and she basically says, maybe we're the evil that we're meant to be fighting all along, and maybe the Republic is evil. And
the system works.
There's actually deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith where her and what's his name that helps Yoda escape?
Yeah, Senator Organa.
That's the one. Her, Senator Organa, and some other extras are basically planning a kind of, okay, things are about to go tits up. We need to. They essentially lay down the foundation of the rebellion. It was a deleted scene, which really it would have been much better if it had been left in. Because as it is, she does not much to do in the movie aside from die.
It would have been better because also they sort of talk about the separatists and actually saying maybe the separatists have got a point. Maybe they're the good guys and all this. And that's the crazy thing, because in the Clone Wars, and this is what I like with Filoni, is they actually do delve into this, because they go to a separatist planet, their capital, and they do come across by and large as their demands are rather reasonable.
I also like that they blatantly, their version of the Senate chamber, it's blatantly designed after the British Parliament. I kind of like a little bit of me got tingly when I saw that the first time. I was like, ooh, British representation, hell yeah.
Yeah, all the separatists are British as well. I thought was quite a nice touch, like a British planet. What was I going to say?
Palpatine.
Palpatine, yeah.
Anyway, I'd like to strike back at your point about Luke from earlier, though. So
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I need to start up with, I really have never liked Luke from the original trilogy. I find him bland as all hell, generic protagonist. Ooh, I want to do good, therefore I will do good. There's no depth to him. At least I'm sure the books did well with him, but the movies themselves, I always felt desperately lacked in him. And one of the biggest problems I always had was they make such a point. You mustn't succumb to the dark side. You must not do this. You mustn't use your anger. And then he uses his anger at the end of the 6th movie, and then he just kind of goes, okay. And then I've used that in a utilitarian way to beat my foe, but that doesn't mean that I'm able to. Well, then what's the point of this weird, like what's the point of don't succumb to the dark side if you can't just decide not to do it? And if I know correctly, the novels went into this, and actually this fucked him over later on. Like, apparently Palpatine possessed him in the novels.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah. There was like a clone version. Palpatine, yeah.
And I love that. That's cool. I like the idea of Palpatine. Again, I've always said I love the idea of Palpatine being this you always misuse the term Machiavellian. Super big genius, plans within plans. He has constant backups and contingencies, even after he died. It's why I kind of like the Battlefront 2 idea that there's just a bunch of people wearing helmets with TVs on them that have his face, and they're just sent out to fulfill his orders.
That's from the expanded universe, if I remember correctly.
I think from the EU. That's cool. I like that idea. But anyway, so the part about him going to Kylo, I believe that moment of weakness, because it is established, it's explicitly stated in The Last Jedi, he would not have killed him. He went to and then stopped himself. But I believe that is actually almost like a remnant of the dark side that he used in his battle against.
So hang on,
against Vader.
hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, stop you there. Why is it a good thing in Last Jedi for him to start going to the dark side and then decide not to, but it's bad in Return of the Jedi?
No. It's but well, first off,
they're the exact
bad,
same thing.
It's bad.
No.
First off, it's bad in Return of the Jedi because it's one of the last things of the movie and it goes nowhere. What I'm saying is the part in Last Jedi it's the consequences of it. He saw himself starting to do that, realized it, and he realized it in himself, and that's why he cuts himself off from the Force, and that literally drives his arc in The Last Jedi.
That's the same thing.
The point you're missing in this is that you're looking at the original trilogy as that Luke is the main character, and the problem is he isn't. Vader is the main character. So when you he kind of is though, really, because like the whole Star Wars, like the six, I will call the six original films. It's about Anakin and his redemption, and what you have to remember, and this is what Filoni pointed out in a very good sit-down interview, was the reason why you have in Phantom Menace the sort of orchestral song of the Duel of Fates. It's not the reason. It's not so much like the Duel of Fates, as in who's going to win. Is it going to be Darth Maul or Qui-Gon or Qui-Gon? It was actually Duel of Fates named after what is the future of the boy, because if Qui-Gon dies, which he did, spoilers.
No.
Yeah.
Not a film from 1999.
Yeah. If he dies, if Qui-Gon dies, then the future of Anakin would be him effectively alone within this monolithical order of the Jedi, which was out of touch with the Force, was blind to the dark side, and was as we've said, wasn't effective at that time. But if Qui-Gon lived, he would be that sort of father figure for Anakin, and he would be the one that could.
Also, he was a maverick in the Jedi Order, so he wouldn't have been so zealous as Obi-Wan was in following the rules and shit.
And this is the thing, because one of the biggest negatives in the Jedi Order, let's be honest, at that time was Mace Windu. When it comes to the spirituality of the Jedi and their Force, because Qui-Gon, the reason why Yoda did a 180 turn, I guess you could say, and Clone Wars explained that was because Qui-Gon was able to achieve mortality, where he wouldn't become part of the living Force, and he was able to manifest himself in sort of beyond the Force, or something like that. I'm not too sure how it worked, but something like that. And it's because he had probably a very deep and very clear understanding of what the Force was, and you see that in Phantom Menace, because his sort of ideology is don't question it, we'll just the Force will show us the way, and he trusts everything in the Force. I mean, he doesn't really make any. If you notice, when you watch the Phantom Menace, he doesn't make any decisions of what to do next. He just says the Force will guide us, and that's what that was his mentality. And so Anakin was always looking for this father figure, and obviously he saw us in Palpatine. It's one of the reasons why they became friends, and it's reinforced actually in the books of the expanded universe. But I think this is now canon, where Anakin was a young boy and training as Jedi, and Palpatine him snuck out to do some underground speeder racing in Coruscant. It's actually really, really good book and everything, and then he takes him to, and then Palpatine takes him to this bar afterwards, and he shows Anakin the corrupt politician.
This is the stuff with Anakin and Palpatine gets really groomy when you look at it.
Yeah.
Although it helps that he is actually his biological father. which a lot of people don't know.
Now,
there was no father.
Expanded
No.
universe.
Palpatine used the Force to impregnate Anakin's mother.
We don't
and
know.
God used the Holy Spirit.
We don't know that for sure. Because
I thought that was canon. I thought that was confirmed.
No, because one thing I heard was the Sith manipulated the Force, but on the other side, I heard that the Force just did what the Holy Spirit would do, in defiance. Because what you had is this Force just made a being that would end up destroying the Sith. So it was like a middle finger to the Sith. They thought they created like their ultimate weapon, and it was like, no, you just created your own destruction. Which is like one of the things that happens with the Sith is they're the ones that make their own destruction. Really, they're the ones that bring everything down around them themselves. It's not so much that the Jedi actually like KOTOR times, like the Old Republic, they didn't actually destroy the Sith. It was the Sith that destroyed themselves, and the Jedi were like, "Oh yeah, we won." So that's how it like all coalesced together. But I mean, and then when you go to Return of the Jedi, one thing you see is, as Filoni put it, was the reason why Luke was tempted to the dark side was, I think it was number one, he was tempted, as you said, he was tempted to the dark side, and Vader / Anakin saw this, and while he saw this going on, I guess you would say it would remind him of what happened to him. And then in this moment when when Luke was being electrocuted by Palpatine after he refused, he realized that he needed to be the father figure that he never had. He needed to be that Qui-Gon figure. And then that's why he did the ultimate sacrifice, and he fulfilled the concept of the Duel of Fates, which was ultimately he did achieve good, because he did destroy the Sith, and he did, well, unless you include unfortunately the sequels again. The sequels blew that out of the water, but he destroyed the Sith, and he brought balance, back to the Force and back to the universe, in theory.
Okay, but going back to Luke, like my point was, because like someone says like, oh no, it's because he saw like the cybernetic arm. It's like, yeah, but he still used the dark side in the. It's heavily implied that. In that battle with him, because he gets angry, he's using the dark side of Force, at least in the fight. I believe it's very shallow to be able to use the dark side to win a battle, and then, but it doesn't stick unless you then kill your opponent. It's like, no, you use the dark side, and there should be consequences for that, and that's what I always like.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan saw Qui-Gon die, he used the dark side in this brief moment against Darth Maul, and Mace Windu used to channel the dark side. Yeah.
Well, Mace Windu specifically trained to do it, though, in like the height of it. We're talking about like Luke being effectively alone and like self-taught, basically. So
yeah, but I mean,
I think that should.
I mean, if we've got Rey in the universe, we can't really complain about that.
Yeah, I was going to say we can't.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what part of it we're talking about. There was consequences, and he nearly died. I mean, that's Igri. Oh, hello, Igri. No. He nearly died as a narrative consequence. I'm talking as a sort of in-universe consequence. Once you let the dark side into you, it leaves the door open for the dark side to get in easier. Is my idea, and that was my point earlier, Arian. Is that like when he then goes to Kylo, that's not him letting it influence him. It literally forces its way into him because he had already opened the door, and that is the consequence to what he did in Return of the Jedi. And because of that, that's why he goes into hiding, and that literally sparks the start of his entire arc in The Last Jedi, and that's why I like it. It's consequences for his mistakes in the original trilogy, and that gives him depth that he never had, in my opinion.
Well, no, but the thing is, the temptation to the dark side, like
hang on.
If you take like Jesus and his 40 days and nights in the desert, right? He was suffering temptation from the devil. And there were certain points where the devil said, I can make you Caesar, I can make you the most powerful ruler on the planet Earth and all that sort of stuff. And the same thing with Palpatine and Luke. He received this ultimate temptation from the personification of evil. Because let's be honest, the Emperor Palpatine's, Sidious, he was that living embodiment of evil in the universe. Yeah. So I'm not criticizing Luke being slightly tempted. It was the fact that he managed to withdraw and fight back. But we all know all Jedi get tempted by the dark side and always have that dark side thing, because it's that inner demon they have to face. Even Yoda has to face in the Clone Wars. He has to face his own dark side alter ego, because the gate. I mean, you say that hatred is fear. Yeah, it is a gateway fear to dark side, but so is fear itself. If you are frightened, that means your fear is obviously of loss, and so a lot of the Jedi have attachment to the Jedi Order itself, which is can bring dark side emotions out as well.
But no, but it's not just being tempted when he actively uses it in the fight. Tempted would be having a moment of about to use it, and then he goes into the Zen state,
Yeah, I mean. I think when it comes
all
to
I'm saying is that's
I
why I like The Last Jedi, is because I feel like it gives depth to Luke's story more than it had before. Because even if you're going to say, oh well, it was Vader's story, it's but that still makes Luke really, really bland.
Well, yeah, but then I mean, personally, I wouldn't have done the new trilogy. Then I mean, I would have kept it as Vader's story, and I just would have maybe done Old Republic stuff. I mean, ultimately, I think when it comes to okay, let's change it up a bit.
Okay.
Who do you think is the best person at the helms of the Star Wars universe going forward? Do you think it's going to be Kathleen Kennedy, or do you think
Dave Filoni? Dude, the 100%, literally every side of the table loves Mandalorian. It's going to be Dave Filoni. Yeah. He's effectively taken it from her.
Well,
I mean, even from just a marketing and a cold corporate decision, everyone loves Mandalorian. I guarantee Disney Plus sold way more because of it. I bought it because of it.
Same, yeah. I mean, I no longer have Disney Plus though, but
I'm a simp for fucking Winter Soldier, so I'm gonna keep it for another year.
I mean, so you're basically on the Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni train.
Yes.
Hayran, where
I would destroy it at this point. To be honest, I don't think there's any saving it. So far, Star Wars has 2 good films. It has maybe 1 good series, which is Clone Wars, and even that. It has a fair few good games. I don't know how good the books are. They got rid of all the good of it.
What are the 2 good movies?
Oh dear.
Episode 4 and 5.
Oh mate. Oh.
What?
No, I thought you liked Revenge of the Sith.
I like Revenge of the Sith, but I don't think it's good. By any stretch of the imagination.
Personally, I think Revenge of the Sith. I mean, this might be controversial. I think Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars film.
I agree.
It's number 1.
I agree. I fucking adore Revenge of the Sith.
It's a stream. It's good. It's fine. It's just it's
amazing.
Middling.
I think it's amazing. I love Anakin's story in it.
Well, I mean, I think it's good because obviously you see the transition, but also you see. I think the problem with the prequels was number 1. I think number 1, I don't think Attack of the Clones was particularly good.
No, Attack of the Clones is fucking awful. I would say
that's the best line.
Close to Rise of Skywalker, very, very close to Rise of Skywalker, Attack of the Clones is the 2nd worst movie.
It had a good start, but I do
like the Django stuff, in fairness, but That's mostly just aesthetics and stuff. There's no depth to it. I like the aesthetics of Django and all the stuff around him.
Yeah, I mean, I like Geonosis, the planet, and the arena. I do like that.
I mean, this is the thing with like when people say, "Oh, Star Wars is good," they'll talk about just the most superficial stuff, which is fine. I like the superficial stuff. That's pretty much the only thing I like about Mandalorian.
That's why I talk about Revenge of the Sith. I love Revenge of the Sith, and I love Anakin's character. I like what goes on with him. I like watching how this this entire establishment is taken over from the inside. It's oddly prophetic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think someone just put it in here. It's you watch it for the portrayal and the betrayal.
Yes.
Of Anakin, because this is the first, and I think this is what makes people. It's really sad. He didn't betray them out of lust for power or like a genuine political, ideological devotion to the Sith. He just did it to save somebody or save his wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the power was the means to save his wife, though, Harry. And he technically was doing it for power, but it was for the power to save his loved one. And again, he was only driven to that because the Jedi was such an unfeeling, emotionless body that he could not go to for help. If the Jedi did not have their ludicrous, no love rule, he could have just gone to them and asked them for help, and maybe they could have done something.
I agree. The Jedi were a bit retarded.
Yes.
Did you guys hear, by the way, what Lucas and Disney both said the other day?
Oh, no.
What's that?
But they basically said that apparently Jedis aren't celibate, so they can have sex as long as there's no attachment.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard about this. Yeah, it's it's not as clean cut as the movies make it out.
No, because basically you had Anakin, there was so many memes of Anakin just turning around going, "What?"
It's the marriage though. It's the marriage that's the problem, not the sex.
It's attachment. It is basically attachment. So.
Well, it's perfectly said in a Plinkett's review. Just let him get his rocks off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I just thought that was just another funny.
This comes through to the second part of my defense of Luke's story in the Last Jedi. So there's who's making the echo? Oh, that's you, Al. Can you fix that? That's horrendous.
Am I making an echo?
Yeah, I'm echoing in your mic. Oh, it's gone now. Nice job. So, are you aware of the term diegetic?
Yeah, I've heard. Anyway. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
So, diegetic is a term used for movies and settings regarding to audio or specifically music. So there is diegetic music and non-diegetic music. So, or just audio in general. So diegetic basically means that the characters can hear it. They are aware of the sound or the music going on. So this would be literally music playing on a radio. And then there is sort of non-diegetic, which is purely for the audience. And I came up with a term for something like this in storytelling, where there is diegetic and non-diegetic storytelling. So there is some things in the stories that are just for the audience, and there is some stuff that is specifically there as characters and is there for the characters, not really for the audience. It's hard to explain. So you can have characters do something and they claim that they're doing it because of their morals, but that doesn't mean that the setting itself is pushing that moral belief. You see what I mean? Just because a character in something does something doesn't mean the movie or the setting itself is saying that this is a good thing. But for the sake of the story, they do it. So a lot of people, when they watch The Last Jedi and they see Luke rejecting the old ways and such, and a lot of people said, "Oh, this is basically Disney saying the old Star Wars is bad. All the old Star Wars is bad. You need to accept the new Star Wars." I don't even believe that's. I don't know. I don't believe that's what it's meant to mean.
Hang on. It's not just that. It was also Kylo Ren saying, "Kill the past."
Yes, and he's the villain. The villain,
but they were all saying it.
Yeah, no. The broken old man who's like at the end of his tether and slightly mad from living alone, and the psychotic like teenager having a mental breakdown. Surely these are the two people that you don't listen to for moral guidance.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because your argument was just, oh, he wasn't really saying, like, you know, we need to get rid of it. The old Star Wars is out. You contradict yourself.
No, I'm saying Luke the character was saying that. Luke the character himself is saying, look, the Jedi of the prequel era were bad, which we have already established they were. They needed to be like, and the point of it is, in my opinion, to address that point that the prequels introduced, because obviously that wasn't a thing in the original trilogy. Luke, in his time in contemplation, discovered this history of the Jedi and realized that he needed to move past that from a character point. But a lot of people apply that in a meta sense, and I think that's wrong, because I mean, even in the context of the movie, again, as I've said, the two people who surely you shouldn't be listening to for moral opinions when they're both a bit mental are saying it. And also Rey steals the book, so she's gonna it's more going back to the roots.
I forgot about that.
It's going back to the roots rather than just destroying everything that came before.
Oh god, yeah, and then Yoda came in saying, "Oh, she knows everything anyway," and it's like, "Oh wait, he means she took the books." Oh, what a stupid film.
Apart from Luke, I mean, I think the problem, Zenn, but this is where the problem is that it was sold to us, a lot of it through the expanded universe of the fans of the originals, was that it was sold to us that in this new film, in the new sequel, Luke would pretty much take the mantle of a wise Jedi, very wise, powerful Jedi Master, who is what we saw in and this is where I'm sort of different with you on this. That's what I saw in The Mandalorian again, spoilers everyone, at the end of The Mandalorian season 2. I saw the Jedi Master, and I think a lot of people saw the Jedi Master the expanded universe that everyone wanted to see.
Oh no, I hated that bit as well.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the point where I thought the fan service had gone a bit too far.
No, because I think the problem was, like, number one, the choreography in this is the thing, I'm gonna get a bit technical beyond Luke. Number one, there was this whole thing in The Last Jedi of like ship fuel and everything. I mean, bullshit. The choreography, because they sacked the original, like the prequels, choreography sword masters. They didn't have them. I say sacked. They didn't have them for the new trilogy. They got somebody else, and the choreography in The Last Jedi, and also probably I think it was just Last Jedi actually, when it came to like lightsaber fighting, was terrible. It was absolutely.
I think I watched Shadowversity analyze the entire throne room, and it's so choreographed. You can literally see them waiting for their cues.
Yeah, they don't, and then
that's not the worst bit.
Just make contact with them, and
I haven't watched it in years, so I've watched his analysis in years.
The absolute worst bit was when she went for a high defense, and the 3 red guards went for a high attack. All hit a lightsaber. She kicks one of them, and all 3 of them get kicked back. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
I mean, from a like, if I'm going to be very generous, the idea of using like force kicks is, that could be using a force.
I'm not
being incredibly generous.
I'm not against that being a thing, but that just makes me hate Rey more.
There should have been some kind of effect to show that at least.
Well, not even that. It's like
it's just a force
it makes
push
me hate. It makes me hate Rey.
I think the problem is, like, literally the choreography was absolutely abysmal. Correct. And I also I'm not over keen on the Kylo Luke Skywalker choreography as well. I mean, it was better. It was definitely better than the throne room.
I like it from a meta sense where it's like it's the idea of him trying to use a peaceful way to. I like that in that kind of like spiritualist kind of shit.
Yeah, that was good. In that sense, and I mean the force projection bit, I thought was quite interesting. I know that people didn't like it. I thought it was rather interesting.
I thought it was fine.
I also thought it was fine because I mean even because they specifically state that one planet is strong with the Force. So
yeah, that's probably how he got away with it.
Which is another stupid part of the film. If he's trying to get away from the Force and cut himself off from it, why go to the place where it is strongest?
Maybe the idea is that it's like at the eye of the storm, or maybe cutting yourself off from the Force. Maybe cutting yourself off from because it's bullshit space magic, okay? But maybe cutting yourself off from the
it doesn't need rules.
No. I'm saying that this might seem like a stupid rule, but if they're going to say that this is the rule, then that's the rule. Maybe cutting yourself on the Force literally takes you using the Force to cut yourself off, because there's levels to the Force. There's the ways you use it yourself, and there's the passive side of it. It might be that he had to use it to cut himself off from that passive side of it.
Yeah, but the problem, this is the problem with all of that though. It's all speculation. We have no idea.
Well, but people for years have been saying we don't like things being fully explained.
To quote the new canon of the High Republic, there are Jedi who can feel the Force through music.
That's pretty sick. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the kind of character, right? No. What's the problem?
Okay.
You can't explain what the problem is. He's just annoyed.
Well, no, I like it on a first hearing of that idea.
I need to see more explanation.
Okay, God. Okay.
What's your issues with it? Go on.
Yeah. I'll share it with you because if you just watch the way that they explain it, you'll probably have the same reaction as me. I would hope.
By the way, are you all right, Cringe Walker? Or are you in the middle of an intense business meeting to sell your terrifying microbes?
I literally don't care about this.
Why are you on the stream?
I don't know. I thought I had something to say, but I don't think I have much to say about it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's just the series is shot. It's it
is a bit. It is a bit, which is why I appreciate the good parts that come to me, and I kind of shrug off the bad sides, because honestly, I hate more than I like the original trilogy. I really don't like a lot of the original trilogy.
There's not a lot I can say that hasn't already been said. It was, although I guess I'll say even George Lucas wasn't even really what's the noise? Even George Lucas wasn't really the inventor of it. If you know anything about the production, it was actually his wife that wrote most of the things.
There are Jedi who can feel the Force.
She didn't write it. She saved it in editing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Lucas had a few ideas. If you want to know what Star Wars would have been without his wife, you can look at the prequels.
But that's still his ideas. She's just refining those ideas.
It wasn't just her. It was the production team as well. Because his original idea was that Han was a space frog, which obviously they were like, no, make him a human.
Is that what they did? Is that why there's now frogs in The Mandalorian?
The tale of Star Wars in general is George Lucas puking out ideas that are kind of interesting but mostly cringe, and then everyone around him making it work.
I agree. I mean, literally, there's a massive plot hole in the prequels because he's a fucking idiot. Which is we'll watch this video, but it's the Sifo Dyas plot point. But go ahead and play this.
Yeah, I mean the Sifo Dyas, because a lot of people don't know. It's it goes nowhere, and it's it's explored in the Clone Wars. So thanks for again, Dave Filoni.
God bless the Clone Wars. Honestly, the prequels would be better if Dave Filoni had just completely rewritten them, because then he'd have had freedom with the Clone Wars.
I'll be honest with you. I in my headcanon, the prequels never happened. The Clone Wars series did.
Revenge of the Sith's good though.
The prequels to me are the misremembered histories of some cringe loser 40 years later or something.
I don't mind that as an explanation. Right, what is this video, Al?
Okay, so there's from the High Republic. They did some promotional videos for these characters to make us feel that we care about them.
Okay.
And And the fact that they by the way, they rip off like enemies from like an enemy from Star Trek. No joke.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's one of what's it? Someone in chat remind me what the enemy that they rip off. Because I'm not into Star Trek. I remember someone reading it and I looked up and I was like, oh yeah, this is the same enemy. Anyway, regardless, these are like several characters that they've trying to promote. And just watch the video; it will explain itself.
Centuries before the rise of the Empire, prosperity, pioneering, and adventure marked the era of the High Republic.
So is this before the
Jedi Master Avar Kriss?
Sorry, Yeah, this is before. This is before Phantom Menace. So this is like between.
Oh,
so
right. Okay.
Note
between Old Republic and
modern. Note that they were so desperate for new fans that they made the hero of the past a white woman.
Yeah. Also, I'd warn AI copyright strike. Maybe just play for about 7-8 seconds and pause. Just
Yeah.
You don't need to
I'll do pauses between.
Paragon of the Order, her compassion as a leader is inspiring. While abundant in many abilities, some more rare than others, one of the simplest things that separates Avar from the other Jedi is that she sees the Force as music.
Right.
Of course. It's a white woman saving the day with her feels and music.
Isn't this cringe? I mean,
again, I don't. It's never been explained specifically what the Force feels like to people. So I don't mind this.
There's no. I've not got an issue with it in concept at the moment. It's like, she feels the Force through music. It's sort of like
that's an
it's always been
again,
wishy-washy.
Again, there's a slight problem in that they've never before explained like how it feels to them. So it's not like we're contrast this against anything else. But I don't mind this.
I mean, is that the worst bit?
Yeah. Is that it, or is there more to it?
It gets a bit.
Just play.
Do you want me to just read off the
In an
wiki?
event that would come to be known as the Great Disaster, a ship traveling through hyperspace is thrown from its course without warning and plummets towards a nearby planet that is home to billions. Master Kriss steps up to lead the rescue effort. The High Republic is an era where the Jedi protect the glorious Republic.
Was that it? Is that all there is about the music?
Of course, it's a token like, oh my special powers, and then just never mention it again.
It's not even special.
Yeah.
It's like an odd trait. It's like how some there's one species that are completely blind and they see using the Force, like Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Which was always weird to me that an entire species was able to do that, but whatever.
Yeah, but what music? I mean, what music do you see the Force? Like,
I don't know.
Music?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good point.
I mean, I assume it would be like an orchestra.
Dubstep.
Actually, every person lets out a mild, like, sort of sound, and they all chorus together as almost like
Skrillex causes powers some may consider unnatural.
It's more interesting if they don't specify, in my opinion.
That's just a cop out.
I'll say it's
not a cop out. It's already an incredibly nebulous how I feel something. So again, the less you specify it, the better.
I have to emphasize that this
Isn't this
even
the problem people always have, is that they hate when they get too specific about something that is mystical.
This isn't even that original though. I mean, like, this is based on what David Lynch did in his Dune movie.
Yes, but nothing is original.
But like, it's just because like no one knew what they meant by like the feel.
I would really advise against playing YouTube videos during the stream. You will get in the shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like filler. They basically just took a bunch of sci-fi concepts and threw in a white woman because they wanted new fans. They're running out of fans to lose.
I don't care really. Her actions in the story.
Ray probably made them lose fans as well. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like,
I don't know anything about the High Republic. I didn't know this was a thing. Was this a novel they brought out?
Yeah, there's it's like a comic series on the High Republic.
Comics, okay.
Yeah, it's a comic series. I mean, and this is the thing. Like, we're talking about I mean, this is where I think the fan base over. I mean, I mean, a lot of them said it's the sequels that a lot of the fan base just left because. I mean, do we remember Sargon mocking the? I think it was the Last Jedi where you had like Commander Social Justice Warrior, like the pink.
Yeah.
I can't get over her. It doesn't look right. And I also despise her. This is the thing. When I say I like half of The Last Jedi, I like all the stuff with Luke. I fucking cannot stand that woman. She actually really pisses me off.
It's probably close to a quarter you like then, to be fair.
I mean, it's literally half the plot. It's half the plot is Luke and half the plot is her and Poe.
It's dark. So there's another third on the bloody casino planet.
Yeah, that's... No, but that's... Is it split into threes then? I always thought it was like half and half, and then like it was like there was half as much. It was like one half is the Luke, a quarter is the casino planet, and a quarter is like on the ship. Was how I remember it. Then again, I haven't watched it in years, so.
I think what happened in The Last Jedi is where they started the filming, and what you had was because I mean Kathleen Kennedy is. I mean, she's a radical feminist. I mean, if you look at her tweets, just look at the
female.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the thumbnail. She is using the Star Wars brand to push a political narrative, and that's what's pissing a lot of people off, and it's what pisses me off.
She's failing at it too.
And they're failing.
She's not even very good at
alienating. It. They just alienate, and this is where because I again, this is the rumor mill we're going into now. It's known that Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy, and especially Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy, have been having some disagreements where Kathleen Kennedy has been sort of jealous of the success of The Mandalorian. Allegedly.
Probably because it's not her project. Her pet project failed on arrival, and she's a typical businesswoman is going to just get jealous and like strike other people down and then run the company into the ground. There's nothing surprising to that. It's like she's jealous. Yeah. And
this is where when it comes to Gina Carano, I don't think. I mean, personally, okay, we'll talk Gina Carano now. Before I ask you guys the question, let's just remind everyone what the dreaded post.
God, don't say the H word.
What's that?
Holocaust.
Oh, that's the last thing you probably should have put on screen, but whatever.
It's Forbes. Listen, if you're going to censor me, censor Forbes as well. So this is the post that she put on here. And now, technically, I'm going to be really technical because everyone says, oh, she mentioned the dreaded H word from the mid-century Germans. Now, technically, this isn't entirely the H word event. This is known as a pogrom, ladies and gentlemen, and Americans watching. Now, a pogrom transcends the mid-century German quite far back to, I guess you could say, the early Middle Ages, and it is basically a series of events where a certain demographic would be targeted by the rest on the basis of religion, ethnicity.
I love how this was framed by everyone as anti-Semitic as well.
I know, like it was ridiculous.
Referring to what happened in the 30s, 40s, that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You can't talk about it.
Her whole point was, look, I think this thing that the Austrian painter did was bad, that everyone thinks was bad, and I don't want something similar to happen again. It starts here.
Hayran, you're trying to make people who are insane think. You're assuming they think rationally. They don't.
No, that is the last thing I am doing. I know they don't think that.
The problem is those insane people have such levels of fucking influence that all they need to do is tell the brainlets of our society that, she made an anti-Semitic tweet, and that's all they need to hear. They don't need to hear anything else. God, her arms are amazing. Sorry.
Yeah. He likes a strong woman.
I like a woman who can fucking pick me up and slam me down. What?
He's got a fetish.
Yes.
Now, I mean, there are a lot of people who said maybe she shouldn't have compared it to the H word from by the mid-century Germans.
The thing like you say,
those people can walk off a cliff.
She was comparing it to the Papa 4, and also Pedro Pascal referred to the H as well. So
actually, this is the thing. Now, this image here, as I said, is from a program. So this is like the build up to the H event by the mid-century Germans.
The dreaded H word.
I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry, Hayran. I'm not going to say it on stream.
No, I know.
It's already been said.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think anyone said it yet.
No. Cringe Walker said it very loudly.
What?
Yeah,
what happened?
Zenn
Nothing.
Zenn said the H word.
I already yelled it. I'm part Jewish, so I can just say it as I please.
Hey!
I'll also happily say that our people are not above criticism, and that we are grossly overrepresented.
Okay.
Being so based.
Hey, I want minorities to take many jobs of like representations that are being held by my people.
Right. Okay. So
I'm not touching this.
I just had to mute Cringe Walker for a second. YouTube, I do not agree in that premise. I donate money to Israeli charities all the time. I absolutely love Israel. Okay, let's bring you back.
AI Shiatori, friend of the Israelite.
Al, what was with that tautology? Why did you need to define that they were Jewish charities? You know there's no such thing as a non-Jewish charity.
The Jewish charities are your taxes, friend.
Okay.
It all goes in their pockets eventually. They're all Jewish charities.
We're not getting hired by Lucasfilm.
I am a New Yorker of the tribe. I have...
Okay, I've had to mute both of them now. As I reiterate... This is something I don't agree with YouTube. I just don't agree with it. Simple. I'll bring them back.
I'm just shitposting, okay?
I can't believe you disagreed with a Jew.
I'm feeling very
Al,
oppressed.
that's pretty anti-Semitic. You're muting the Jew on the stream.
I'm feeling very oppressed right now.
Calling him a liar.
Oh my god. Okay, guys, can someone in chat just download? Okay, well, after I'm done, I'm going to download this stream because this is going to be removed within about minutes after we finish, and my channel's going to be. Can someone in chat? Okay, so someone in chat, download all my videos for me and just like store them somewhere because my channel's going to be removed.
Can you not double upload to BitChute as well?
You'll be fine.
Amateur.
Yeah, I'm going to have to re-upload all my streams and everything to BitChute because this.
You should do that already.
YouTube knows my heritage. They give me a pass on everything.
Okay. Are we going to go back to Star Wars though?
Yeah, back to Gina Carano. So, okay, do any of you think that Gina Carano should have been sacked for? No. And do you think it is a ridiculous? Do you think that they genuinely think that this was anti-Semitic or homophobic or whatever the hell they accused her?
No, when you go down the ladder enough, when there are literally websites screaming that she made an anti-Semitic tweet, I can believe it. I mean, I've had it implied. T-Bag, chill the fuck out, okay? We're not going to be talking about this stuff on your stream. We're going to be solving crimes, okay? I spend most of my time on your stream just shitposting in GIMP anyway.
To be fair, T-Bag, I have been the one antagonizing these conversations.
Yeah. I have been the perfect friend of the Jew, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. No. I mean, from what I've been told, it's not even that she was technically fired. It's just that she only had a contract for, like, the 2 seasons, and once that contract is up, they just haven't rehired her. So they didn't technically fire her.
Well, this is where the story sort of diverges. I know people have been saying that. But this is where she claims, and it's sort of been corroborated by Favreau in a loose statement. And this is where it gets a bit interesting. So what happened was Disney released a statement where they said that we will not be having Gina working for us. And then they explained the reason why, and they basically said that she made transphobic and anti-Semitic comments on social media.
I don't remember that.
She didn't put her pronouns in her bio.
Yeah, she just put she put beep.
Oh, I remember that. Oh yes, of course. That's very transphobic. Yeah.
What she put? Big boobs.
Beep boop in her what bloody R2D2 does, beep boop.
Oh my god, that's not even offensive. It's just a joke. Fuck off.
Yes, it's a bit of a normie. It's a normie joke.
Well, cringe walk. I'm afraid the Scottish government would disagree with you there, and the Scottish courts.
Yes. I was threatened with police activity for calling a certain minister some certain words, and I had
Okay. This stream's already spicy enough.
I've not said anything.
It's being subtle enough.
Okay. By the way, you do realise we're going to have to all find a Jewish charity now and just donate to money live.
Donate
just
to me.
This was Cringe's plan all along.
Donate to me.
Can't trust me.
I need money for my experiments.
I don't have money.
Okay.
I need to renew my Disney Plus in a couple of days.
No. Okay. I had a feeling Cringe was going to say he needs experiments and let's step over this. Step over it, Cringe.
Yeah. Climb up out of the horrendous pile.
Yes, sir.
Let's not go down this route because I really want this stream to be up so people can watch it later.
I was talking about the suck, but anyway, go on.
It's not happening, so.
So basically, I don't think that. I was saying, Zenn. I was saying, and she found out she wasn't even notified that they hadn't. I guess you could say, as you said,
they hadn't renewed her. Yeah.
Renewed her contract, but they did fire her because the language in the statement was basically, "Get the hell out." It was like instant termination because they hadn't it wasn't like that was the day that they needed to update the contract or anything. It was, in theory, a sacking because of that tweet that we saw earlier. Now, I mean, I think it's bad they didn't tell her, but what makes it really interesting was because you use your corporate response to basically we will not. I mean, I was expecting a letter or a statement to basically saying we will not be continuing with Gina Carano at this time. She will not be part of future Disney projects, something like that. It'd be something bland thing, but they actively went with the narrative. She is an anti-Semite and a transphobe, which is not true.
Take her away.
Yeah,
that's criminal.
Take her away.
We'll see, Harriet. This is why I hate all of the constant free market thing, because the market's doing this themselves.
No. I disagree. The market has clearly showed it doesn't give a damn because it buys these people's stuff no matter what they do.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's why I've cancelled my Disney Plus. That's why I'm not going to be buying. When it comes to Kathleen Kennedy projects, like stuff that she's working on, I like upcoming films by the director of The Last Jedi, whose name will not be repeated here. I'm not going to watch it. Whether we can go back to the cinemas after lockdown, I won't be watching it. I won't be watching it on Disney Plus. I won't be watching it anywhere. And I encourage many.
I need fodder for videos. So sadly,
I mean, the thing is, I encourage people. I mean, I personally, this would be my idyllic dream that basically Favreau becomes the head of Lucasfilms, and then it's just Filoni, and then you have like proper Star Wars fans with the franchise, and they can just mend things. That would be my ideal outcome, and that would be I'd be like, okay, maybe Star Wars, maybe something can happen positive. I'm
very concerned about the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, and I was really looking forward to it, which sucks. But
yeah.
Did any of you see the trailer that just came out for it?
Oh, no.
I did, yeah.
It's almost entirely people taking the piss out of Bucky, essentially, and I'm like,
nice.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yeah. This could just be me overreading it, and I've been spending too much time with Yiz. But this seems very anti-white, potentially. I don't know. That might just be me overreading it. But the fact that Falcon got the fucking shield already, I'm pissed off.
I mean, Zenn, with the High Republic, I'm getting that strong, let's say, Yiz vibes coming from the content there, and I don't want to see it, but I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I know, right? You don't want this to be what you're seeing. You can't help but see it.
Because I'm seeing it. It's like I'm seeing it. And then when you read, like when I say the High Republic is the person who's behind it, she's literal racist. She basically has done. She did like this one tweet, like of like the usual dear white people sort of stuff. So she's a racial identitarian, and so that sort of exonerated my what I was seeing. I was like, okay, maybe I'm not a complete reactionary, let's say, in that area. Maybe there's something to it. One thing I am concerned for though is, and I was actually looking forward to this. There was in the investors call. There was that was a few weeks ago now. They announced all the new upcoming Star Wars films, like for the next 10 years or something daft like that. And you had like and series as well. So you had like
Boba Fett.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett, Rangers of the Republic, which was meant to be again, that was meant to be Gina Carano, which I don't know what they're going to do about.
I literally just scrolled down my Facebook and saw someone talk about it, so yeah, that was meant to be her.
That was meant to be her. You also had this one which was called The Acolyte, which was about, it was set during the High Republic era, and it was meant to be involving the Sith. So it would be like the rule of two. So you'd have one Sith master, Sith apprentice. And so that got me quite excited, and a lot of the fans excited, because a lot of people were speculating, could this be like the origin stories of Palpatine, which I would be like, yes, this would be brilliant, amazing. How Palpatine, maybe see how Palpatine...
See, I disagree. I don't want to see any more of Palpatine. I think we've seen enough of it.
I have to agree here.
Too much.
They have to stop killing the original characters. They're awful at management. It's a different generation. They clearly do not understand the media that they're dealing with. Make new characters to deal with your new issues. Stop murdering an existing set of characters for a different era.
It's not even that. It's just like, I think we've seen all we need to see of Palpatine. It doesn't need every part explained.
But what about like a one-off film where you basically see Palpatine as this young man who is like a real nice guy?
Because you already saw that with Anakin.
Yeah, basically like how he, like, because this is the crazy thing, like how he starts off as like a nice guy like Anakin, and then just descends into Darth Sidious.
They tried that with they tried that with Voldemort and the Harry Potter series, and it just came off cringy.
Yeah, but Harry Potter is cringy anyway.
I like that more.
Hang on, what? No, they didn't. Voldemort was like an actual psychopath.
No, they tried to like show him as an innocent kid and how he
they didn't. No, they didn't. He was always a terrible person. They actively stay at the youngest that they see him.
I know that.
He into a cave and like did unspeakable things to them.
He
was never a good person.
What I'm saying is, you see his development from like exploring himself. Yeah, I'll use some of them progressive words.
I mean, maybe a better way would be like comparing Snape, how he like, and then obviously Snape and Harry's father, I guess you could say, like,
the point is, I don't like this idea of always going into characters' backstories and showing every detail. I think the reason this stuff gets kept to flashbacks is because they show us what we need to see.
Yeah. Do you want them to Last Jedi Palpatine?
Well, it depends who's making it. I mean, like, if you got
no, the right answer is no.
I just don't think it'd be interesting. I think that you've explored. The biggest problem would be because it's a prequel, and I think in this world we are doing prequels too much because you are always limited by them. One of the biggest downsides of Clone Wars is that they are limited by the fact they have to lead into Revenge of the Sith.
But this is the thing, like, the problem is, and this is where Filoni, this is where he sort of acknowledged it. The events after the in the New Republic era is basically Kathleen Kennedy, and it's cringe, and it's shit, and it's super gay. And
it's not super gay. They had 1-2 second scene of that they took out for China.
Okay, yes, and he said Mandalorian. Yeah, Okay, I'll give Mandalorian a pass
For the record, is why I am really looking forward to the Boba Fett stuff, because especially if that's done with Dave Filoni, it's completely untreaded ground. We have no idea what it's going to be. It's not leading into anything. It's just completely fresh story, and I am so hyped.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Another
but the trouble is, like the New Republic era stuff, it is cringe and it is a mess. But the problem is, you got a lot of the Star Wars fans ideally, I think a lot of them, they don't really want High Republic. They want KOTOR. They want Old Republic, like the old Sith Empire and the Old Republic. And they want to see epic battles of like legions of Sith and legions of Jedi just fucking owning each other.
They essentially want key jungling.
Basically. And to be fair, I'd like to see KOTOR-esque film come at some point. I don't want it to be done by Kathleen Kennedy or any of her minions, identitary minions.
If they did anything with the Old Republic, well, I'd want to see them be like going deep into like the Cold War of the Jedi and the Sith. And it's like because I've played the Old Republic, the MMO, and that's my limit of knowledge of the Old Republic. So I've not played the RPGs. I'm saving myself for them. I'm saving those for when I'm ready for them.
But
I remember, but I remember that like I used to play it with my friend, and one of our biggest in jokes was just, the wagging fingers Cold War, as these two sides are constantly having fights between them. So I'd love to see like the actual like politics and do they have to constantly cover up these, or is this what a Cold War is like in this world where there's constant small skirmish?
One thing that is quite interesting, and this is where again this expanded universe stuff, but the Sith of old didn't really care much for the Jedi. The only Sith who had like a sort of obsession with destroying the Jedi was Palpatine, and there was a thing in the expanded universe where he sort of communicated with, it's like through a Sith artifact, and he was warned by basically the Sith of old, focus on Sith things and just leave the Jedi to do whatever the hell they get up to. And he was like, "No, I want to infiltrate the Republic and fucking boogaloo them at the right moment."
He wanted that DLC.
Yeah. He wanted to fortify the Republic's democracy.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting because, like, I won't spoil KOTOR for I guess for you, Zenn. What's really interesting is,
I do know the big spoilers.
Okay, so do you guys know the big spoilers?
No, but I'm not too bothered.
Okay,
the main character of the first one, you start with amnesia and you don't know your past. And when it gets to the end, it turns out you are Darth Maul, a Sith who was like both Jedi and Sith.
You find out your character is this infamous Sith. I guess the head of the Sith, known as Darth Revan, and that your apprentice basically tried to kill you, but you were rescued by this woman called Bastila, and you go around with this amnesia and you become a Jedi, and it's quite a good story, actually. I like the first one. I prefer the first one over the second one. I know that's quite controversial. People say, well, the second one's a bit better. The second one's okay. I don't think it's better. But what you have is in the second one is you're basically the last you're the last Jedi.
Oh no.
Okay, like literally, genuinely, you are the last Jedi because you wake up as a different character, and you basically find out the Republic is in full retreat. The Sith have basically just wiped out the entire Jedi Order, and there's none left. And then any surviving Jedi, there's like a massive bounty out of a bounty on Jedis. And so as soon as you like go to settlements, there's always this thing of like the exchange, which are basically like this bounty hunting collection agency, and they're just out to get you throughout the entire game. But you then find out that there are a few other Jedi Masters out there, and they then say that your character has like this really unhealthy attachment with the Force, where every person you meet, the strong emotion, and that basically you're too dangerous to be left alive. And then suddenly, I think, is it Kreia? Who's like this mysterious Sith, this mysterious woman who turns out to be a Sith. She sort of like Force electrocutes them all, and you end up going to find her on like the Sith planet, and then one assumes that your character, being the Last Jedi, goes off and reforms the Order in its modern state. It is what it referenced, because at that point Revan has sort of disappeared. Bastila is knocked up with his children, and she sort of like quits Jediing, and yeah. This is the problem with the expanding universe. It doesn't explain a lot of shit. This is the problem.
And that's fine when you're a trilogy, but when you start getting bigger and bigger, you do have to make some definitions.
Yeah, okay, so someone just said Kreia wasn't Sith. No, yes and no. That Seal just pointed out Kreia wasn't Sith. She wasn't Sith, but she was Sith. This is the thing. She was Sith. She basically rationalized that the Sith was like a broken, corrupt order. And it's like, okay, and I want to replace it with a new order. Okay, well, what is that then? Well, we'll be using the dark side. And she makes some good moral points of why using the dark side could be a positive thing. Okay, have I oversimplified it so much? Okay, fair enough. I've oversimplified it. But at the same time, why does she want to reopen the Sith Academy? Seal. Not Sith, but I want to reopen the Academy. Okay.
I like that we've completely avoided the last the last Skywalker or whatever.
Okay,
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, so
Rise of Skywalker, whatever. See, that's how bad it is. I detest it. It's just corporate. It's just look what would give us the biggest numbers to the absolute peak. It's terrible.
Oh, Palpatine's back.
Palpatine, yeah.
Everyone likes Palpatine.
Hey,
look, people didn't like him throwing away the lightsaber, so now he tells her off for throwing away the lightsaber.
Well, yeah, it was just made by a man who clearly hated the last film, which I was all for, and then he made it shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I'll actually defend the last one, even though it was crap, but like it was an attempt to erase the last film because it was such a shit film, and so
it replaced it with something worse, though.
Well, no, measuring it as a repair job that has to balance both progressing the plot and erasing previous plot points.
Yeah, it did pretty well.
It did pretty well because it actually manages to tell a story, even if it's incredibly disgusting and stupid.
You see, one thing that this is how, I mean, there's been like a lot of thought about retconning the sequels or just redoing some aspects of the sequels.
They need completely wiped clean. I despise the idea of having different fucking writers for each movie in a trilogy.
I have to, that was just retarded. I don't know why anyone would have done that. But always have a consistent director, because don't provide opportunities for someone who doesn't know the story to fuck it up. But B,
Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
Not mention the name.
Do any of you know what? Do any of you know what Star Trek Voyager did when they realized they had a shit awful season?
Nope. They're bringing a better writer.
They literally pulled a Deus Ex Machinima where in the opening, I forget what season it was. The season opens up with the ship and its crew realizing that they were all clones and all the stories that they had last season were fake and like not the original truth. and in so doing, they erased an entire season as just the badly remembered dreams of pod people that were not real. And then it cuts to the real ship and what they've been doing for the year that shit season was on.
That's fucking insane.
This is what Star Wars has to do. They have to have some character wake up from a coma and have some scene from the Rise of Skywalker or whatever. have some character have Finn wake up from a coma and be like, "Oh, what was I dreaming? That was kind of cringe, wasn't it?" And then and then that is what you do. That is how you save the cringe. That's how you save the series. That is how you save the series. Just you'll have to pay Pagoda like a lump sum of like a large sum of shekels for him to come back. But be like, listen, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna just imagine all of the awful shit you had to go through was a dream, and then we're gonna focus entirely on you not being shit. How about that? Here's $1 billion. Please work with us.
Honestly, I want to see the actual era of the High Republic being like put together. I want to see all the shit they had to go through to actually create the High Republic. This is the thing. It's like all I can remember from when I was young was people complaining about the politics in the prequels, and I'm like, I fucking love the politics in the prequels. Yeah. It's fascinating.
That's what made it interesting.
It's one of the only parts of the prequels that's aged well.
Of course, all the artists love the little fine details like that.
Yeah.
It's not even fine details. It's just like I like the ideas it bounces around.
I mean,
the Senate just literally voting in a dictator. This is how democracy dies with thunderous applause.
But I mean, the trouble is, like, this is the thing. Think about who voted in dictatorial powers, right? It was Jar Jar Binks. This is why you don't give minorities on planets vote like this.
I think there were more gummies than people. I have no idea. Actually.
He was the native. He was the native of Naboo. The humans were the colonizers.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. He was a minority.
Just because he's a native doesn't mean he's a minority. You don't
they are minorities.
Mate,
Naboo is the London of the galaxy.
mate, no, mate. Naboo are fucking pacifists. They don't have a standing army. They had to go to the Gungans to save their asses because they're like the California of the galaxy.
Yeah, but the thing that was like, again,
man, no wonder Palpatine came from there.
Zen, you have to remember the Phantom Menace is technically the High Republic era. This is going to
I get it.
This is going to blow people's minds. That is actually the High Republic era because the Republic is like the entire galaxy, technically. Okay, even though you have the Outer Rims and the Hutt territory and all that, but technically it's like it's all one thing, and you don't have a standing army. The only enforcers of law were the Jedi, and that's what. And so, yeah, I mean, but there's no need for an army in that way.
Wait,
so Space Force as well.
I was going to say planets didn't have armies. What? That's insane.
Yeah, they didn't have. Well, because I guess the reason was it was like that for them they were I say they didn't have armies. I mean, yes, there were some planets did have armies. I think if you look at the ones that are in the Outer Rim, they did have armies. But the further you got to the core worlds, like the sort of mid and inner rims worlds, is the core worlds and everything.
It's an entire galaxy that have all defunded their police, essentially.
But the Jedi.
From Star Wars.
No wonder the Chinese aliens came in with their massive armies and money and took over so easily.
Yeah, that is a spicy meatball.
My lord, is that legal? I will make it legal. I mean, really, you can't look at Phantom Menace of this shadowy white-haired politician working together with these powerful people with Chinese accents. You can't tell me that George Lucas wasn't seeing the future when he wrote this shit.
Well, he based all the politics off George Bush and his intervention.
Well, Nixon and George Bush. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, but it's eerie as to what could be coming in our future.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, I'll take the sheaf pill.
Chairman.
Okay, so this is going back.
Mao invade California. Is that legal? I will make it legal.
I wouldn't mind, to be honest. At this stage, I don't think Cringe would mind either.
What?
Yeah. You wake up one morning, just find out California's been invaded by China. Like the rest of America's like, oh well.
Yeah, well, no loss.
Shit happens. Yeah, shit happens. Good luck.
No loss.
Be like, shit, China, we're gonna give you that for free.
Yes, you didn't have to like invade and spend all that money on your military. We would have just given it to you.
Just light a fire, then the entire army dies.
Yeah. So yeah, God, yeah, land management over in California is disgraceful. But going back to the Rise of Skywalker, there's something actually on the sequels that we didn't talk about, and we sort of pressed like Finn. The character in the sequels, I think one of the biggest shameful acts of the sequels is, more so than Luke in many ways, is the way that Finn was treated, and we find out a lot of it is, again, it's because we're catering to the racists. Chinks.
They did.
You annoyed at us for saying fucking trigger words. Jesus.
They did a brother dirty. Let me tell you.
They did, yes.
Yeah. It's my stream. I can say what I like. Listen. Right. The thing. Okay, this is the thing. There are certain. Listen, I can say chinks, but when it comes to topics of Jewish people and Israel, I can't touch that, Zen.
Chinese are the Jews of the East, though.
Yes.
Oh God!
Listen. Most of Asia doesn't like China either, so you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't value credits here, only money.
How did you get away with the fucking character?
Dude, George Lucas is based as fuck, man.
Where are those droidicas?
I have to say, I do like. Sand people.
What?
Sand people.
Yes. The terrorists who shoot at other people's property and steal it and blow shit up. Of course,
live in tents, probably shag banthas.
And then Mandalorian comes in. It's like, no, the Sand people are misunderstood, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you just reminded me of that bloody sandworm episode.
I really liked that episode.
It's Hayran. It's a reference to the first KOTOR game, actually, because there's a mission you have to take out a was it Crate Dragon?
Yes, Crate Dragon.
There's like a mission you have to do it. It's basically you do it the same way near enough as the Mandalorian does it.
in the way they all should have thought of in the first place. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching that episode, I was sat on my sofa yelling at him to do the thing that he does at the end.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But this is the really funny thing. You find out when you like go through like the expanded universe stuff with like KOTOR, you have to remember the Jedi, and this is why I'm really worried with the films if they do KOTOR. The Jedi in KOTOR are literally 100 times better than the Jedi in the prequels. Like literally, the ones in prequels they've never. When it came to Darth Maul, when Qui-Gon first faced him in Tatooine, that was the first time a, let's say, quote unquote Sith and Jedi clashed lightsabers since for like 1,000+ years.
Isn't that why Yoda was so distrustful of Dooku? Was because that like Dooku focused on a fighting style that was sword to sword, implying he'd have to fight other people with lightsabers. So Yoda immediately distrusted him because it's like, well, Sith don't really exist anymore. So why would you be training to fight people lightsaber to lightsaber?
he just likes the moves.
He does. No, in fact, I fucking love Dooku. Dooku is like Dooku's one of those characters that is completely carried by like the charisma of his actor.
It is a sin.
One of the only good parts of Attack of the Clones.
It is a sin that they spent so long waiting to make this prequels, because had it been made like a decade earlier, and he could have been the main character for like the entire series, boy, would that have been awesome. I love Christopher Lee. His voice is wonderful. His acting skills is wonderful. He was done dirty in that series. I wish they kept him around for the entire. But you might not know this, but like they were originally, you know how they were originally going to have Jar Jar be like an evil character, like he was going to be the anti Yoda. No, that was real. They were going to have Jar Jar be the anti Yoda, They realized that no one liked the character, so they killed the plot, and then they brought in Dooku to replace him as the dirty guy.
Yeah, because in the Phantom Menace, there's several scenes you can see. What was it? Jar Jar standing next to people, and when they're like they're thinking of like an idea, plan of action, like what to do next, and then there's like one guard, that black guard, he's like standing there, and he says, "Well, we need to go to do this," and you see Jar Jar like repeating the words, and so the idea was he's using the Force to put things in his mind
It was half a meme, but it was also actually a legitimate plot point in the episode 1. But they killed that plot point by episode 2 and replaced them with Dooku.
At least George Lucas didn't completely get his way.
No, I mean, if he had made the character less shit, it would have been an interesting plot point. But I'm glad they replaced them with Dooku, who is class A. Like, I love it.
Yeah. He was. Dooku was a really good character. I mean, only one of the redeeming factors about Attack of the Clones, why I think it's really good to watch sometimes still, is because of the Dooku scenes. I will not lie. Sometimes I do fast forward it a bit to about halfway through the film.
The car chase at the beginning is one of my favorite bits.
Oh my god!
Jedi business. Go back to your drinks.
Are you aware of that guy, of that one Death Stick salesman's name? By the way,
what's his name?
I can't remember his second name is Sleaze Bagino.
Oh yeah.
I fucking hate George Lucas.
The writing in the prequels was so fucking lazy.
He's very base, but he's so bad. Yes, this is what we talked about earlier. So if no one's aware, the character that they refer to, Sifo Dyas, in the original script was meant to be Sido Dyas, meaning Sidious, but he miswrote it as Sifo Dyas. Saw that miswriting and went, "Oh, that's a cool name. I'm gonna make a completely different character." And it's almost like an ADHD level of writing where he just keeps getting distracted by new ideas.
Yeah, I mean, the joke is that the reason why there's so much 3D animation in the prequels is not because George Lucas wanted to be innovative. It's because he was too fucking lazy to get off the director's chair in his office. He just wanted to do the whole movie from his office.
Well, it's a Plinkett line again. As long as he's got his chair and his coffee.
In behind the scenes of Revenge of the Sith, there's like this one scene where Padme and Anakin acting, and they just do it all in one take. And Natalie Portman turns around and says, "Are you sure? Do you think I did?" It goes, "No, it's okay. We've done it. We've done it now. Let's move on."
That explains why all of their romance scenes are fucking cringe.
Yeah.
The only good scene is when he's in the Jedi Temple, and it's like real conflicted moment. You have that really eerie music, and he's staring, and she's like at the apartment staring back. And
that was good. That was good.
That scene. I love that scene. It's incredible.
And that scene was not directed by George Lucas. Sorry.
Also, as much as some of the lines are a bit cringe, I do really love the entire segment on Mustafar. Because you can really feel the emotion, even if the dialogue's not amazing.
One of my goals is to get a text like an AI speech synthesizer and redo that entire scene in less cringe. Just the dialogue's fine. Just put different emphasis on different emotions, and cut out a lot of garbage.
I mean, I do like how as soon as he admits to her that he's just fucking massacred a whole classroom of children, and she's like, "Ronald, come away with me. We can raise a child." And everything's
I will say, if there's one thing I could change about the about that movie, it's the killing of the youngling, because it's honestly really needless. It would make more sense to take them and indoctrinate them.
No. It's not needless. It is not needless, because the way that he achieves the dark side powers is he had to kill the little fuckers, and that's what he did. And seriously,
did he have to?
He had to achieve the dark side because he had, by doing such a horrific act, it had to finally kill off any sense of morality, any sense of decency. I
do think that does screw up the slightly level of Well, that's the thing. I like him being a little bit relatable, and if they had just left that out, if they had made it so that the kids were instead like taken in and like taught the ways of the Sith instead of just being butchered, I think.
Maybe the
and it would have like
rule of two. What's next? Rule of two.
Yeah, rule 2 is bullshit. Rule of 2 is awful.
Darth Revan came up with the rule of 2, and actually it makes sense because the reason why the Sith Empire, this is the crazy thing, like in the Old Republic, the Sith Empire more than likely would have won because they had the strength and military capability, and they were very imperialistic, and they were very based, and they were a lot better. But the problem was they had so many Sith masters, apprentices, emperor, and it was like the Ottoman court. So they just end up fucking duking it all out, boogalooing each other. And
again, as playing the Old Republic from the perspective of the Imperial agent, it's fucking hilarious. Just watching all of these Sith frantically backstabbing each other while the Empire desperately tries to continue going while that's all happening.
Yeah, that is
hilarious.
It is hilarious, and that's why.
But the rule of 2 is worse though, because all it means is these two people will always be trying to kill each other.
Yeah, but it's better you have two people than like.
I disagree.
100.
I disagree. I think that's the thing. It's like at least when there's 100, you can vaguely trust like a few people, and just that there's someone.
What do you do about the other 98?
If you do if you do a conspiracy, you have to have as few people than possible. Like imagine if you have like 100 Sith trying to infiltrate and to subvert the Republic. The Republic would have found out by then because they would have seen like fucking red lightsabers fucking crashing in the Senate floor, and they would have been would have been a all out killing match because when it comes to Palpatine, he would have had other masters, and they would have probably disagreed on course of action. Like some of them would have gone along the route of, well, let's just turn the Separatists into this new Sith Empire, and we'll just fight an honest war through that means. And you'd have one that would be like, no, let's just go to the outer realm reaches and just hide away in our Sith caverns and do whatever.
Why are the Sith such fucking pussies in some of this shit?
I think because they it goes down to, I mean, like the Ring of Power and Gollum in Lord of the Rings, where basically they become so paranoid with power that they just shut themselves away because it's the only way that they can comprehend the power that they have before them. And same with the Sith and their power. I think a lot of it is that there's too much power to handle. They just can't handle the power that they possess.
I'd bet money this is going to be the Joe Biden situation. But anyway,
Harvey,
I won. But if I use it, I might lose it. I can't use it.
Can't use it. I'll lose it. By the way, Joe Biden, if no one didn't know, he is the most popular president in human history. 81 million votes, all legal. And I mean, I no doubt
verifiably legal.
They were all 100% legal, and no doubt in the next election he'd probably get 888 million votes.
He got so many legal votes they started sharing them across states. I call it fortifying the vote overflow. Vote overflow is really important.
You just overflow the vote.
He'll still be alive by the time of the next vote.
Oh, he will. He's gonna live it. But no, vote overflow is a really important concept to wrap your mind around. It's an amazing, fascinating thing. It only happens very rarely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So as I said, Biden is the most popular politician, more so than Obama. According to opinion polling as well. So yeah, he's Ave Biden. Long may you reign. So what? We talked about. What have we talked about so far?
We've not really mentioned. We've not really mentioned The Force Awakens yet, because that was. I remember people saying like this is basically just Disney showing they can do a Star Wars movie, and I think that Force Awakens is good.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was
Again,
the
I
least
think-
effective of the
I don't
sequels.
hate it. I
think there's I've always said there's small tweaks that would have actually fixed it, like, and it was very small, but like
I actually feel sad watching Force Awakens because I actually, when I rewatched it a few weeks ago now, and I remembered how much potential Finn's character had to become an awesome Jedi.
yeah.
And then I realized, oh fuck, they're gonna sell. Yeah, fuck. I remember they sold this to the racist Chinese.
Yeah. You know, if remember, fellow African Americans, if you had not bowed before the forces of diversity, i.e., China, you would have had a based black Jedi owning the shit. But
So
no.
how pissed off were the Chinese about like one of the big moments in Last Jedi being the little Asian girl kissing the black man? How angry were the Chinese markets about that?
Well, this is the thing. The Chinese, and this is like from the Force Awakens as well. So this is before all of this kicked off. Actually, no, it probably goes. I think it even goes back to the prequels. Star Wars is not that big or popular in China.
Yeah.
It isn't, and there's a reason. I mean, I think the reason why is there is. I think some of the values that the old Star Wars produced, like acts of rebellion, breaking the collective mold. It goes against a lot of Chinese values, as Biden would say.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Isn't this the kind of hell? Isn't Star Wars the kind of movie that they would have made illegal?
Possibly, but
Like
again,
they made any movie that featured time travel as part of its plot illegal because they don't like the idea of manipulating history. This is the thing. Are you not aware of this?
I didn't know that.
China made any movie that features time travel illegal because they can't stand the idea of modifying Chinese history. They believe that is incredibly haram, and they can't have that.
that's insane.
How ironic.
It's just years ago. It's hilarious.
Although, to be fair, China's history is so based they don't have to modify it.
Yeah.
One
Time
thing I
travel-
like about
travel
the sorry,
was
go on.
banned in movies back in 2005. This was a while ago that it happened. It was quite hilarious. Back to the Future. I think Bill and Ted was also banned.
I'll be the first to say Bill and Ted is a ripoff of Back to the Future.
And
Doctor Who.
Not well, maybe Doctor Who.
Doctor
but not
Who?
They fly around in a time traveling phone booth.
Yeah, it was first made in the 60s.
Yeah.
Doctor Who comes from that, but I'm saying Bill and Ted is a ripoff of it.
Oh, sorry, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I thought you meant Doctor Who was a rip-off of the 80s.
No.
That's what confused me.
I mean, one thing I noticed with after the Force Awakens was that they ended up relegating all the minority characters to go off on their own adventure together. Did you guys see that?
Well, in Last Jedi.
Yeah, in The Last Jedi. So basically,
Yeah.
you had the Asian girl and Finn.
Well, Oscar Isaac isn't white, to be fair.
Yeah.
The way they friend zoned the Chinese lady was just, it broke my heart.
Well,
completely trashed in Rise of Skywalker. And I can't remember.
Risk your life saving the base black future Jedi. Rewrite her to just being a friend. Fuck off.
I feel bad for anyone like far in the future who watches the sequel trilogy and isn't aware of all the bullshit behind the scenes. So they're just watching this schizophrenic movie trilogy that doesn't know what it's doing at all.
Well, that's par for the course of how people direct films nowadays. They're very consumer based and they're not meant to be rewatched.
But this is the thing, because they made the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. They had to make the Resistance, the good guys, effectively more palatable for the Chinese. So basically, they made them more authoritarian, and the New Republic basically just comes across as authoritarian.
Well, no. There's a bit of a switcheroo there because the Republic is the real government, and it's the First Order that's rebelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could, but this is the thing, because I sort of ended up rooting for Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker. I was like, maybe he's got the right idea.
In fairness, I root for Palpatine in the prequels as well. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like when the First Order just becomes sensible, reasonable people, it's like, yeah, well done. I mean, imagine simping so hard for China that you just make the First Order look like reasonable. And I wonder if the Chinese just thought because I imagine the Chinese just look at the First Order and think bloody Taiwan.
I'll tell you what, this Star Wars is a weird series because I was just thinking about Palpatine, and I've just remembered of that one time in the Clone Wars where it was just a weird Godzilla homage.
Wait,
and it doesn't go anywhere.
What?
I think I know what you're talking about.
The finale of season 1, where they just accidentally unleash Godzilla on a planet.
Oh yes, yes, I remember.
And it doesn't go anywhere. It's really heavily implied that it's going somewhere, and it never does. It's weird. I'm surprised it didn't at least explain where that was going. I remember watching that episode with my friends. Cause me and my best friend and my girlfriend, we like binge watching stuff together. So we literally during lockdown, because of how hellish it was, one of the things we used to get through was we just watched the entirety of Clone Wars. It was amazing. And I remember watching that, and I was like, they never did anything with that because it ends on a cliffhanger of him it dies, but then they're like, oh, don't worry, sir, we have its DNA, and let's take it to Camino. It's like, oh, they're gonna clone the Godzilla monster, and it never went anywhere. So I went on the wiki, and it turns out the only time that thing appeared again was during a discontinued mobile game or something.
Right.
I know about this. Yes.
Yeah. I just remember because I saw in
Oh yeah.
I remember I just had it in my tab here. I just thought I have this up because I remembered that again going back to the sort of, this has all become a bit disjointed now, but the Gina Carano story. Now, yeah, we talked about the Holocaust.
Hatred.
No, we're not meant to say that word. Figure yourself out, mate. You ning.
No, just say Holocaust.
I don't think that's the correct tone. I should point out I need a dash. I need to go and do my Twitch stream in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, so probably we'll wrap this up in a minute. But I mean, again,
you can go on without me. I'm just saying I need to go.
No, it's okay because this is getting to 2 hours, and
it's been a very disjointed conversation. But
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I've converted anyone to my church of Last Jedi is 5 out of 10, not 0.
You probably made me hate it a bit more.
Really?
To be honest, yeah. I didn't think that was possible.
I mean, beyond Luke, which you explained, quite well. I'll give you that. At the same time, Luke isn't the only factor in the film.
No, that's fair. I just think that his side of it gets a lot of shit, and I think that's unfair. I think we should focus much more on the bullshit like Holdo, which is absolutely god awful. Also, the constant schizophrenic story of Kylo in that movie. Actually, since I'm still here, I'll rush this out quickly, but I just want to point out I don't know what they were going for with his character in The Last Jedi.
They didn't know what they were going for.
Apparently, they wanted to copy Darth Revan. That was the idea.
Hell. Well, here's the thing. I watched a video by Linkara, who was basically reviewing the movie by reviewing the comic, and he ends the movie saying
"Oh, that's the name I haven't heard in a long time."
Yeah, the problem with Rey is that she thinks that Kylo can be saved, but sometimes people don't want to be saved. But then what's the point of the start of the movie where he doesn't kill his mother, where he spares her? What's the point of that then?
Rian Johnson's a shit writer.
I guess
that's the issue.
Yes, go watch The Teabag Who Laughs if you don't. He put out a fucking horrifying real crime thing the other day about a woman who basically made every mistake when it comes to dealing with creepy men. She made literally every mistake and was buried in a compost pile.
She chose poorly.
She chose poorly.
Different series.
Are you aware of the Mandela effect?
Yes.
So you are? Yeah? Cringe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always misremember that line the line is he chose poorly. I always thought that the first line is you must choose, but choose wisely. And then at the end, when he dies, he goes, he chose unwisely. I always thought that was the line, and I think that would have been funnier.
I like
guess
that.
it's not
I will
funny.
be stealing that for a story. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Right, I do really need to go because I've got to go and get my ass eaten by Cthulhu. But it's been fun. It's been fun being here. I really hope me and cringe shit posting doesn't ruin your channel, Al. Seriously, double upload to BitChute, no matter what.
We'll find out tomorrow. I'll find out tomorrow.
I suppose so. Right.
And thanks for coming on. And check out Zenn's Twitch channel.
Yes, check out my Twitch. It'll be in the comment in the chat, I think.
Yeah, if you put a link in the chat or something.
I DM'd you in Discord, but that's my Twitch. I need to go live. I'm literally late now, so now I'm gonna have people shouting at me. Right, ta-da!
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now he's not here. We can now really bash the Last Jedi.
He really is the king of terrible takes. he really is.
Okay, and then to be fair, he I mean.
To be fair, yeah.
I'd be more concerned if he was saying that the Rise of Skywalker was a brilliant masterpiece of Star Wars and was amazing.
Well,
I'd be like, no, get out of my stream.
in fact, that's a weird thing, isn't it? No one. It wasn't like people either like Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. It's people think the first one's okay. Then the second one's very, very divisive, and then the third one everyone thinks shit. Well, it's a bit odd.
I find that there are certain people in the Star Wars fandom. You got people who like the prequels, and you got people who like the originals, who are usually like the older fans, boomers and such. At the top, and you then got the majority who like the sequels and the original. The prequels and the original, so like 1 to 6, which I think is like the majority of like Zoomers and people like myself. And then you got people who just like the new trilogy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and literally there are people. There's one chap who I saw on a Star Wars Discord that I was part of, which was who just said, I watched 1 to 6. I really didn't like it, but I do like the new trilogy, and that's and he's basically for he him, yes queen, you that sort of stuff. And it's like okay,
so cringe lord, okay,
cringe lord. Oh yeah, I went to the admin and just said I've learned a terrible truth. I think Dave is a cringe lord.
It's a weird thing I noticed because my brother's been a Star Wars fan since he was about 10, as is like someone else, not a family friend's husband is really into it as well. They were both like, I shed a tear when I saw Yoda in The Last Jedi. And I watched it before them because I watched it the day it came out, and I was like, when Yoda came up, I'm like, why is he acting like his laughy self before he became somber in Episode 5? Why is he acting like that? And I was a bit confused. And my brother and the other one were like, I shed a tear. I'm like, why? And then I'm like, can you explain the line where he says she knows everything anyway? And then one of them pointed out, she took the books, and that's what he was referring to. And I'm like, why wouldn't he tell Luke that? It's just he was acting very trickstery, and it's like, that's not Yoda.
To be fair, that's more to the original Yoda, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. But then he changed, like when he's becoming the Jedi Master, he never reverts to that. So it's really weird that that's the way he chose it. But this is what I mean. Rian Johnson doesn't understand Star Wars.
No, Rian Johnson. I think that's the problem. Rian Johnson doesn't he's like the one director just doesn't understand Star Wars. And I don't know if he's a bad director or not. I haven't seen. I don't know much of his work, so I can't really comment on that. But
Looper was shit. Knives Out is shit. List goes on. He's not very good.
He's not a very good director at all.
No, his directing's fine. It's his writing that's terrible.
Yeah, you can direct and still be a shit writer.
Yeah, as like George Lucas. He's got good ideas. Like he'd be good like storyboarding and like concepts. And
even that's being too nice, I think.
I know. No. To be fair, his visions of like worlds, cities, that sort of stuff, characters and such. He's quite good at that. It's just like you need to have a director like Filoni, and you need like a screenwriter. I mean, people don't know this, but Alec Guinness was really, really influential in the script writing in New Hope.
Really?
Yeah, he was really influential. He basically, the original script was basically what like Revenge of the Sith material, and Attack of the Clones material, and Alec Guinness was like, okay, let me just like put in a few words here, make it a bit more like Shakespearean, apparently, like make it a bit more dramatic and like and everything, and he changed up some of the dialogue, or he didn't change it up himself, but he suggested George would maybe change a few dialogue bits here. Thank you, Sir Alec Guinness, for saving the franchise before it started.
Always a Shakespeareans who can make something decent.
Yeah, this is I mean, you think about Star Wars had Sir Alec Guinness, it had Peter Cushing, and it had Christopher Lee.
Yeah, it had a lot of big names.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was good. I mean, it was good. And they were all underused heavily, apart from Sir Alec Guinness. All the others, they just were like side wheels, which was a shame because they could have been used. I think Peter Cushing should have been a longer sort of villain.
I was fine with him dying on the Death Star.
Yeah,
because without him, that's part of the reason I think they brought in Palpatine.
Yeah.
Although, Palpatine was already in it, actually. He was mentioned in Episode 4.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is in Episode 4, it makes it sound like the Emperor's a puppet to like the military, Imperial military industrial complex, which was like...
Yeah, it was far more interesting with that, too.
Yeah. It's like the Emperor was just a puppet.
It would have been cool if like Darth Vader was like the real power and he was using Emperor or something. Anyway, off topic.
Off topic, yeah. So we talk about Gina Carano, Disney, Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, let's finish it up quickly. When it comes to Star Wars' future as a franchise, because there's going to be like games coming out this year by like the likes of Ubisoft.
Oh God,
Cringe.
yeah.
Yeah,
I keep fucking forgetting about that, and then I get really upset when you remind me.
I can imagine what the trailer's going to be like, and I can imagine this when the trailer drops. Everyone, I'm just to warn you, there's going to be a lot of cope on my Twitter. It's going to be pure copium content because I know what's going to happen in it, and it's going to be the usual buzzwords: strong women, the Force is female, token characters, and social justice is probably going to be like fucking plastered all over it.
Well, and gameplay-wise, what does Ubisoft do? Oh, they make an open world. Oh, they add a load of fetch quests. Oh, go up towers. That's it. Great.
Yeah, yes. I'm not interested. The only white pill, I guess, for the future that I can think of is number one. This is a white pill. You got the Bad Batch, which, to be fair, I looked at the trailer. It looks quite good.
What? Sorry.
The Bad Batch.
What's that?
So during the Clone Wars, there's like this. There's like a couple of episodes in the last season where there's like these special commando clones who are like defective, and basically there's like a few episodes where Anakin and Obi-Wan's with them, and they're quite interesting characters. And so what you got is you got a whole like series now based around.
I can sum it up. Imagine the Suicide Squad in Star Wars.
Oh. Well, actually, Suicide Squad as a concept's fine. The film was just garbage.
Yeah. What makes it interesting is it's set between episode 3 and 4. So the series starts off like right at the end of the Clone Wars. and and then it goes into like you actually see like in the trailer that they are staying to attention, and Order 66 comes through. And someone just put the Clone Trooper autism unit. Yeah, basically they're really autistic. The unit. It's basically like 4chan clone. I mean, to us, 4chan should probably like adopt them as like a unit logo or something, because it's basically it's something I draw between. Anything else? I mean, okay, so yeah, sum it up. Is there anything else that future of Star Wars? Is there anything that you guys can think which give you any hope, or is it just all black pills from here?
The last Battlefront, like Battlefront 2, story was a bit like just fan service and crap, but the multiplayer was really good. So if they make another one, I think if they can like improve the story, it would be like actually worth £60. And Jedi Fallen Order, I quite enjoyed the story in that, although it was a bit like what annoyed me in that was that they spend the whole game trying to find this like holocron, and then in the end, when they get it, they just destroy it. And that wasn't the mission at first, but it made sense why they destroyed it. But it's like, oh, great. But it's kind of one of those things where now they've set up a crew, and it's easy to set up a sequel. So Fallen Order was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't like the idea that they revisit planets for missions. I kind of wish that they just more planets. In the sequel, I think more planets and open world ish.
Well, it's open world. It's just it's Metroidvania.
No. Yeah, but like proper open world.
It's Metroidvania.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I just didn't like revisiting like the planet twice, and then going enemy. Like,
well, don't play a Metroid Prime game then.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's all you do in that. Which I guess I'm used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind this. I mean, I personally, I just want my KOTOR 3. I want my KOTOR 3, and it will come. But the problem is, I'm really happy that BioWare aren't doing it. I'm so happy that BioWare aren't doing it. If BioWare end up doing it, then then that's it. That's the end for it. Me. So now I'm looking forward to that. I mean,
but yeah.
When it comes to the future of the films, I know that there's going to be a new trilogy. It's been recently announced, and that what's his name again? The crap director that we're talking about.
Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson. Thank you. I forgot his name. He is set. Kathleen Kennedy is going to bring him back for some more Star Wars.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
So,
why are they so stupid though?
I think the problem is this. I think that Kathleen Kennedy is using Star Wars to. I generally think that this is just her using Star Wars to push a certain agenda, and I mean, she wants to force out fans, genuine Star Wars fans, and have these vapid sort of fake fans who only love the new trilogy, and they're actually quite. If you like some of the Star Wars channels and such, there are a lot of them, and they're really insufferable.
I mean, we all remember the guy who I want to point out had twin beds behind him, not a double bed. I'm saying he's not shagging a girl there. In case people didn't get it, but we all remember him crying at the trailer of like Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah,
like this is the future of Star Wars fans. They are.
Oh my god! Well, they were always cringe in my opinion, but
I think the trouble is, I think the normies have bugged out, and the right. I guess you could say, I don't want to say right wing, but the more sensible,
the palpy pilled ones,
the palpy pilled ones, people who are not SJWs, basically.
Yeah.
Are starting to check out now because of Kathleen Kennedy and what's happened with The Mandalorian. A lot of them have just gone, nah, Star Wars fucked itself, and I'm not. They're just disengaging from it. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars, like, there's got, like, the big Star Wars channels on YouTube, like Star Wars Theory and such, who I watch sometimes. He isn't really that political, but he's, like, saying, this is getting out of control now. There are a lot of, like, big names in the Star Wars community who are just, they know that Kathleen Kennedy is malicious in her, in what she's doing, because it isn't about the story, isn't about the franchise, it's not about any of it, it's about
sending a message.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not about the money, it's about sending a message.
Yeah, but the problem is that she assumes that people are going to listen, but no one's listening to this shit anymore.
No. And the only people who are consuming all this new Star Wars content now,
I'm consuming
are basically the yes queens and yes bigots, bigots against strong women in Star Wars, and it's the Force is female. I mean, these are the people now who are the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, but like it's inherently a smaller audience because like, sorry, but like men tend to be more sci-fi nerds than women. Women tend to be more fantasy oriented, and so like I'm making and so like if it. What? Yeah.
Why are you saying sorry?
So, in my opinion, fantasy and sci-fi are basically the same thing as a function. They just like you basically either tech or magic, whatever. For whatever reason, women tend to like witches and men tend to like mechanics. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I can basically only see Star Wars shrinking in its audience size because she's murdering the popularity of it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that with the High Republic, though, because a lot of it is focused around Jedi, and the reason they expanded the magical force powers, like force music and force fucking dancing and force faggotry.
Again, I don't think that's the worst examples of it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Listen, it's a slippery slope down to force lesbianism and force
lesbianism.
I suppose we have China to thank for China is now our moral arbiter and limiter before it goes too much cringe.
This is what really annoys me. Is right, technically.
I'm starting to like China more and more as a counterbalance to the West's degeneracy.
Fuck yes, China is fucking.
Are you jealous, white man, that China can manage to morally arbitrate better than you?
Yes. Prince Walker, just make those fucking clone troopers for me.
I would, but the problem is an embryo costs $20,000, and I don't have that. Well, I do, but I don't want it.
Prince Walker, I mean, I do have to blame the Americans on. I think the blame has to come back to Americans. You guys, on the 6th of January, had the chance to stop.
I don't. No, don't threaten your channel with that bullshit.
Okay, no. Okay.
Listen, we're all loyal to the Biden Reich.
Yeah, we're all loyal to the Biden stuff.
The Biden Reich will endure for 1,000 years.
Actually, Seal just pointed out, Star Wars fans are known Harry Potter. Yeah, a lot of them are Harry Potter fans who've just crossed over. And this is the thing. Remember when?
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember when you had the prequels? At the same time, you had the Harry Potter franchise, so they were already distracted with like the Harry Potter stuff. And now because there's nothing there to fill that gap, they've all latched on like a bunch of leechers with their fucking Tumblr blogs. And then Kathleen Kennedy thinks, "Oh, these are the new Star Wars fans. These are the Star Wars fans sort of."
I know a lot of times this gets grouped in as like bio-Leninism and shit like that. And the thing is, like, you can make money. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah, I just think it's like the cathedral. I just think it's a gay word.
Yeah, like you can make money off of bio-Leninism if you don't like destroy your majority. But they're just taking this policy where no, we're going to actively like disregard the majority of friends and live with the smaller share. I think this is gamble that they think, oh, there must be more people in total on the like other side, quote unquote. When in reality, the person who just does something that's appealing to both sides is going to win in the end, not the person who like.
I mean,
criticizes it.
I think the people who are normies who love the sequels and the originals and the prequels who were just like bare basic bitch normies of Star Wars will watch it regardless. There's always that percentage that will just watch it regardless, like whatever the messaging is coming across. They'll watch it regardless. I think if Kathleen Kennedy was fired and Star Wars was brought back to where it should be, in my view, I think they would lose the minority of 5%, but then they could regain a larger group of male autists who have just checked out. And I think, like, financially, it'd be more cost effective to have the normies and the male autists than like 5% of Tumblr users, in my opinion. There'd be more like financial gain from a point of view.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic how it's just, suicide, but whatever.
It is. But I mean,
suicide of the West.
No, to be honest, I'm happy that all these like icons of the last generation are like killing themselves, because it will create a massive vacuum, like creative vacuum for new things and new stories. I don't think anyone wants to write new stories yet, but yeah.
Gina Carano, she's now working with Ben Shapiro on some new film project. So
yeah, I know the anti-Semites making a movie with the Jew. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
Wow. This is how the H word started.
Well,
probably.
To be fair, fun little historic anecdote, but Hitler's editor for Mein Kampf was in fact Jewish.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Did he not see all this? Did he not see all the things, such as the line of, "Oh, World War, like 1,000 dead men would be worth it for World War 1,000. 1,000,000 dead men would be worth it for World War One if they were all J words." It's like,
I don't
not see that thing.
Karen, you have to remember the pogroms were very common in Austria and Eastern Europe, so it wasn't like a shocking statement as it would be today.
The meme. There's a meme going around where there's two stick people, and like one is like anti-white girlfriend, white boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's basically what was happening in the Weimar Republic, where you had these like self-hating people that were just like you'd be surprised how many Jewish people are financing the Nazis, thinking they were making a quick buck off of like rage, and then it comes back and swipes them in the face. I mean, like never put your money into rage; it will always bite you.
I disavow that statement.
It's just a statement.
I disavow that thing. I mean, one thing I do know is when it comes to the mid-century Germans, a lot of communists joined the SA. Like, I actually looked at stats. Yes. It was hundreds of thousands joined. Yeah. And it was actually, I can't remember what the word was, but it was basically like brown on the outside, red on the inside.
Yeah, watermelon, I think, right?
Climate people.
No, that was the one. Wrong one.
Oh, I can't remember what the word for them was.
Yeah, it was a really good word, and I remember because in my GCSEs I actually referenced it. I basically said, because I said, "What happened to all the communists? They weren't killed off; they just joined the Nazi." Because like the narrative in UK education, all the communists in Germany were put in concentration camps. I just went, "No, they just joined the Nazi party."
I think you can probably find it if you just Google like brown short.
Was it something about steaks or something?
Yeah, it was steaks.
Yeah, steaks. That's it. Yeah. Brown on the outside, red in the middle.
There you go.
Because it was all thanks to the unions, because all the Marxist unions went. They were all abolished in the history textbooks, but in reality, they just were reformed to become National Socialist German Workers' Party unions. There you go, YouTube. I said I didn't say the word.
Yeah. Oh God. I love it when like Wignuts say the I was about to say the N word, but the National Socialist shortened word is like, oh, that's just it's just an insult. It doesn't mean anything. And it's like, oh, it never originally referred to like National Socialists. I'm like, yeah, it did.
German Workers' Party.
I think trying to assume that fascist making sense is a hard call.
Yeah, but one of them said to me like, oh, where does the Z come from? So I just showed him the German word for National Socialist, and
you think these people speak German?
Yeah.
Well, they keep saying that one of the best books.
They're LARPers. They're just like.
I know. I know, but it's ridiculous.
I had a debate with this like really like special needs child the other day over Vikings, saying that there's literally no evidence that Vikings mixed with Anglo-Saxons in England.
Does this retard not know how Dublin was founded?
Yeah, this guy literally he says that Vikings came, but then magically somehow they left or something, and that there's no evidence there's any DNA. And then he presented me because he was like a national socialist, like white nationalist type, and there's obviously the Anglo-Saxon race must be pure. Sort of mentality, and then I said to him, "Okay, well, what about this study and this study?" And he just presented me with this study from this rampant Marxist who made the idea that actually the Vikings weren't bad people. And I just said, "You do realize the guy's a Marxist?" And he goes, "No, you're the one that's pushing the Marxist idea by saying that there was mass immigration." I was like, "It's not mass immigration, you fucking special needs kids." I ended up blocking him because I just felt sorry for them. I don't like to bully the weak.
I've seen one going around recently saying that like, Karl Marx wasn't anti-Semitic, which is just ridiculous. As far as
just step over these people; they're retards.
But you say that, but AA was pushing it as well.
What?
And AA was pushing that Karl Marx wasn't a retard, wasn't anti-Semitic. So he sourced a report. And the report was literally saying, "Oh yeah, he was anti-Semitic." Like,
yes, he was anti-Semitic because I read Das Kapital. Yes, he was anti-Semitic.
Which is ironic, considering he was part Jewish.
Well, yeah. Well, was Hitler part Jewish as well?
Yeah. Where do you think you got the black hair from?
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Bit too much.
Are they Jews?
Listen, Israel, I will happily accept Mossad money at this stage.
Yeah.
I accept your donation. I will use it for science.
Oh no, he's cloning.
But seriously, if you want to give me money, I will take it. I'll take whatever.
all the clones will be circumcised, I assure you.
Good. Yeah. All has to be kosher. All the clones.
Oh Christ.
Okay. Oh God. I'm. The trouble is, we've said we've talked about the Jews. We've talked about fucking Nazis.
Wasn't really a Star Wars stream, was it? In the end.
Well,
we did talk about Star Wars, just not.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the real Star Wars was the one against the Star of David.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to end it now. I'm gonna have to.
The real Star Wars were the friends we made along the way.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
So wait, does that make Palpatine Oscar Schindler then?
Yes.
Oh my God, that reminds me. Did you see that tweet from Endeavour about the 5 most anti-white films from Hollywood?
Yes.
One of them was Schindler's List.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of a retard take is that?
Well, he's Canadian, isn't he?
Oh my God.
I'm sick of North Americans at this point. I really am sick of North Americans.
Tradcath North Americans are just the worst people on the internet, I've decided.
Something in the water drove us all insane.
There's a chap called Red Tory, and he used to be good, but he's been putting out a lot of cringe takes late, and I've just been getting sick and tired.
Red Tory?
Yeah, it's like Canadian Red Tory or something like that. Red Tory, I think Red Tories in Canada are basically Blairites, from what I remember, like politically.
Yeah. Dear. Lot of Tismy takes, but another one was like the Django Unchained. That had a white hero.
Django Unchained is just. It's
just anti-slavery.
It's historically inaccurate. I'll give him that. It's not accurate, and it's bullshitty. But at the same time, look at the guy who makes the film. It's not meant to be it's not meant to be authentic or accurate. It's
the whole point, like literally, the thing that I love about what's the director's name? I always forget his name.
Endeavor.
No. For
Tarantino.
Django. Tarantino. The thing about Tarantino is that he's like anti like racial identity, and he always does these like really clever stories that like makes you question why you're a fucking racist. And like the clever story with that one was the whole idea of like the German and the black man resisting like Anglo racism, and like you wouldn't expect a German ally because like they're always the Nazis, and it's a very good movie. It's a clever take.
Yeah, well, this was the thing with Django as well. He killed black guys that were friends to the slave owners.
Yeah, like I mean, literally, that was what's his name's character. There's a phrase for them.
Samuel Jackson,
House Negro.
No, yeah. The Uncle Tom.
The Uncle Tom. That's the word. It's like the character, like Jackson's played a really good Uncle Tom character to be like the one you shoot, like you basically shoot him and burn him in effigy.
If this stream doesn't get fucking booted as soon as I go off, like end the broadcast,
we're very progressive. We're defending like the black man against what they did to they did a black man dirty in the series, and so we're defending Finn. We're defending Django. We're very progressive here.
Yeah, we are actually being very progressive, and we are being very good friends to the Jew. So, what's the issue?
I love the fact that I'm not even like my blood is Jewish, but I'm a Christian.
Well, you're Lutheran. They were.
Unironically, I'm actually going to join up with the Democrats, like a broad overseas group. I just want YouTube to know I'm actually going to be like I'm a member of the Democrats. Overseas.
You can join cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know, I am a Democrat voter. As soon as I said that, I lost 2 viewers. Fair enough.
Oh dear.
Is Richard Spencer still in the Democrats?
Yes.
Is he?
When's he going to reform the Southern Democrats? I'm waiting.
A couple of people might join that in our community.
Yeah, I had to tell my parents that like that Richard Spencer, the white nationalists were voting for Biden. And they were like, "Oh, I've not even heard of that." I'm like, "Well, you wouldn't, would you? Because why would the news want you to know that?"
Yeah.
He's also a CNN contributor as well.
He is. CNN hired him. Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, they hired him for several months, I think.
Yeah.
Because
he must be controlled opposition.
Yeah,
he must be.
Because I mean, okay, I have a theory. The current situation with the KKK, half the members are probably feds. I think the other half are journalists.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's a joke about that. I don't remember the joke, but the joke about like, many evil organizations are probably like who's who between the CIA and FBI, and they don't realize they're just perpetuating a dead system.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cause like I think the number of the KKK is about like a couple of thousand now in America.
Yeah, they're extinct basically.
They're basically extinct, and probably the only people who are in them are like the ATF, FBI, CIA, Homeland Security.
That one boomer KKK guy who's like still around. It's like
David Duke,
surrounded by like 120-year-old agents that are pretending to be one.
Yeah. Oh,
that'd be a fun game to make Among Us, but like with the feds versus reals.
Yeah, but that would be like everyone versus the one boomer guy. Oh god. Okay, I'm going to call it a night now.
No
that's right.
Fun stream. Hopefully, it doesn't get taken down because of my hot takes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've just gone through a list of everything that's happened. We've said. And we basically, from the point of view of, I might actually tweet this at Gina Carano and just say, if you want to see some anti-Semitic content, Gina and Disney,
no, I'm not
listen to this. Listen to this, Jew.
Listen to this.
How can I be anti-Semite? I am Semite.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter because he's. I mean. Was it fucking Ben Shapiro is a white nationalist?
Oh,
in there. It doesn't mean anything. Anyway, you're half, aren't you?
Me? I'm like an eighth.
Oh god,
an
okay, so
octoroon.
I'm not vegan.
I'm enough to get citizenship in Israel. That's all that matters.
Oh Christ!
God.
I run away in case the Biden fails.
How based is Israel actually? That's another point. Because
they're like an apartheid racial state. Like the only ethno state in the world now is for the Jews.
I always hear that's overblown. Like how actually ethno state it is.
It's a bit overblown. The older communities are definitely like very ideological, but the newer kids hate them anyway, so they don't really have any power anyway.
So they're going to be subverted by leftists soon.
Yes, soon the atheist Jews who don't believe in their own God are going to rule Israel.
This is a point I always bring up to Wignats as well. They're always like, "Oh, communism is a Jewish idea. So why isn't Israel a communist utopia then?" Doesn't make sense.
Why isn't Israel a Christian kingdom? I mean, that's my
one day.
We lost a few crusades, is why.
Well,
no, we won them, but we were subverted.
Well, we lost a few crusades against Muslim kingdoms. What about a Jewish state?
But who was puppeteering it? I'm joking. Arve Biden.
Arve Biden. Arve Netanyahu as well. He's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see voter fraud, look at what that guy did.
Jesus Christ!
I was going to say, aren't they having like their fourth election in like 2 years? There?
It's literally the election over there is literally. Well, I didn't win, so it has to be a redo.
I do like with Burma, or sorry, what's it, Myanmar? What the fuck they call themselves? Burma. I call it Burma because it's Burma. The military's response is basically, we believe that we've got evidence of voter fraud, and that's why we took action.
I'll remind you, the owner of their voting systems is Smartmatic.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Basically, unironically, I'm supporting the Burmese military in their endeavor at this stage because they have made they've made a wise choice.
They chose wisely.
They chose wisely, and they learnt from another nation's mistake.
Which shall not be named, and is certainly not the Biden Reich.
No, certainly not Biden. Certainly not America. Certainly not fucking Hennepin County in their ridiculous fucking voter.
Biden Reich has no sin.
Yeah. No, there's definitely nothing. And someone just said I need to get Streamlabs. I will do. I will try and get Streamlabs for the next stream.
How much does it cost?
I don't know. I've never even given it a thought, to be honest. I never thought about monetizing.
Are we on Streamlabs right now?
No, StreamYard. Stupid super chat comments.
Sorry. Yeah, no. Streamlabs is just free. But
Streamlabs free. Okay, I might give it a go. Give it a go. Donate to me. Might do some merch.
I can design some if you want it.
Yeah, could you design me like an avatar or something? Other than
I'll make a Mecha Augustus rather.
Yeah, make like an Augustus sort of thing in a swamp, like in a. I'm looking out my window and I can just see the Avalon marshes. And you know, like that scene from Lord of the Rings where they go through like this bog and you have all those dead people in there.
Are you in Italy?
No. I'm in the UK.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what marshes.
He's a Brit.
Avalon marshes. Yeah, like, literally. Yeah. It's literally marshes, and it's filled with like bodies of Romans and Vikings. Literally, you do like any roadworks around here, you find a body of a Viking.
Curse of 1,000 Vikings upon you.
I want an AI Shiratori tea towels. That's a good idea, actually. That'd be a good idea.
You know, I try to get Britisher to do what was it? I think I was encouraging Britisher to do orange spice tea when Trump lost. No, orange salt. Yeah, orange salt tea. Salty, something. I forgot what it was. Like orange spice tea.
Oh yeah. God. I miss Trump. I miss him.
I don't. Yeah, and the memes are great, but
What was your issue with him?
oh, he's just someone who says they're going to do a lot of stuff and then does jack dilly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not wrong there.
Again, I want to know who that. I mean, like Trump. Look at Burma and learn.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, on the topic of Israel, if you decide to run for, because rumors that he might run for Congress or Senate during the midterms, he needs to send Kushner back to Israel and permanently ban him from the United States. That's not me being anti. I'm just saying he needs to bin Kushner big time.
He might run for either governor or senator of Florida.
Well, isn't
that I had a theory that he might try and. What if he tries to primary Mitch McConnell in Kentucky?
Ooh, that would be based. No, I want to see Governor Trump like just fuck with people.
I don't think he'll go for governor. I think he'll want to go.
No.
I think he'll want to go into Senate and fucking own the libtards from there.
I didn't think about this, but yeah, he because I was listening to a radio on Hannity today, and he was basically like when Rush Limbaugh died, Hannity was like, so what are your plans? And he was like, well, today's about Hannity, but I do have today's about Rush Limbaugh, but I do have big plans. And I was thinking, well, he moved to Florida. And he's very popular in Florida. Florida was like his biggest win. He could totally win a Senate seat or a congressional seat and just be a shitlord in the Senate.
Yeah. Basically, he just be a shitlord in the Senate.
He's gonna do it.
I would really think he should primary Mitch McConnell in Kentucky as just like.
No, I don't know how popular it was there, but I mean, it would be ironic, wouldn't it? that would be the ultimate move.
I think if the MAGA base were prepared for this, I think he could, because I think when it comes to like normie Republicans, if they had to choose normie Republicans in Kentucky, do you think they would go for Mitch McConnell or Trump?
Trump.
Yeah, let's be honest. And the trouble is because like Louis Laval, who's been a bit controversial in our circles of late. He's been attacking us Brits, you see, because he's a bit of a racist.
Wait, what? What happened?
Oh, him and Jaws have been having like full-on internet drama.
Why?
Because he accused Jaws of being like a neo-Nazi, which is yeah. And I did say to him, I said, no, he's not. And then he accused Mitch of being a Nazi. He accused Mitch.
Oh my God.
He accused Mitch of. I don't think he accused Mitch of being a Nazi, but I think he sort of just called him. He called him the N-word or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, the guy known for blasting people with the N-bomb is calling people white supremacists. I love it.
Because the problem is, he doesn't. And this is the problem with Americans. So I'm sorry, I'm generalizing you in this, but this is the problem with Americans. They don't understand continental philosophy, and the difference between continental philosophy and English philosophy when it comes to political organizations. Like when we talk Mosley, the black shirts were and. They were basically, and Mosley, they were birthed from the Labour Party movement.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He viewed Mosley as exactly the same as the National Socialists. While there were similarities and obviously a direct alliance and overlapping, there were quite distinct differences. For instance, I don't think Mosley and the black shirts were inherently anti-Christian. Unlike
Mosley was pretty cringe, but
yeah, I mean, he was. You have to remember he was Labour Party though, so yes, all Labour politicians are cringe. All of them are low energy and cringe.
I I love that. Like, even though Trump's gone, I did not like Trump, but I did like his like introduction to new words, and I think y'all need to start recognizing the power in inventing new words and terminologies, because that's one of the ways you control the dialogue. The left does this all the time. Like they invent a word a month, like microaggression and like multiracial whiteness. I love that one, but you have to start inventing words that control dialogues.
Yeah. I think maybe just we call like. I think one of the problems is like I've stopped calling them like Marxists now, because I think one of the problems it's like when they call us Nazis, you know, it's like for the normie, it's just like, oh, if you call someone Marxist, then it makes them it's like a meaningless thing. Like if you call someone a racist or a Nazi, like when I hear like some radical like leftist journo call like some like when they call like I don't know Rush Limbaugh too well actually.
He's a neocon, so kind of cringe, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw like a journalist calling him like the king of bigotry and a Nazi and everything, I just thought, oh, so he's a reasonable guy then.
Yeah,
a reasonable guy. Yeah, okay.
I you know, again, being more on the Democrat side here, I'm going to respectfully disagree with the guy, but he was a very important cultural icon in terms of like, you know, he was kind of like a bishop that would like bless Republicans when they ran. And you basically had to get his blessing if you wanted to run as a Republican. Things like that kept politics normal.
Yeah.
Maybe normal is not the right word. It kept it checked.
He had 29. I think at one point in the early 2000s, he had like 29 across all his radio stations, 29 million listeners a show, something like that. So, which is like, I mean, at that point, you could say that's like half of the Republican Party.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, more like a third, but yeah.
Or a third, yeah. So, yeah, he must have been, you know, very powerful. It was a very powerful figure in the Republican Party. I mean, he had. I mean, one thing that's quite interesting is I did actually catch a show of his right after your election, because I was sort of interested in what was going down with the results and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he agreed with Trump and many on Trump's side of the results and the origins of some of the results that were coming in, and so I thought that was quite interesting, because I heard it from neocon, but Newt Gingrich, he agreed with the idea.
Newt's a rat. He agrees with whatever gets him power.
Yeah. I don't know, because he just said it like in once, though. That was a weird thing, because he didn't like reiterate it. He just said, yeah, the election was blank. Yeah, so he said the election was fortified really, really hard.
That's a good. There you go. You're starting to see. That's what you conservatives got to learn, to make words like that. Good job.
Yeah, the election was really, really fortified. And Rush said the same. Rush said it quite. Rush was a bit like Bannon. When Bannon said the election was so fortified to such an extent that we need to start removing the Monday Tories in America.
Yeah.
So Mr. Gently Blame, I'm going to end it now, because this Star Wars stream has taken a very, very
sorry.
That's all right.
I don't think I caused this tangent.
No, well, where do you think Star Wars is going to go, Mr. Lutheran Knight Cringe Walker?
I think that Kennedy's days are starting to get numbered, because like she can bring in the cash. It's just not the amount that she was like promising, right?
No.
So I think as the profits dry up, and as people start to notice that like they're not getting their money's worth, that people will start looking for alternatives.
I think, I mean, I think if the fan base, if you're part of the fan base who wants her gone and you like Dave Filoni's and those sort of work, basically don't watch anything that she produces or she's part of. If it's anything of the Filoni-verse, you promote it and you say on social media, we like the stocks, we like Filoni, we like
exactly.
Just repeat it and then just go, Kathleen Kennedy's cringe and lame and no energy. And just repeat that constantly.
And that's a good point. Like, I'm not saying you should boycott her necessarily, but like, you have to like start making you have to make it clear to the financiers that this isn't making the money.
You have to make it obvious that she's an obvious negative, and there is a better option in front of them, aka Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. That's what you have to make it look like. So on that note, I will thank you both, and thank you Zenn for joining. Thank you Hayran, and thank you Lutheran Knight, and I will see you all next time. I'll see you guys in chat next week for another episode of the Blob Watch, where we'll probably be talking about whatever batshit thing the left does next week. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the week that the left just goes. Yeah, they've gone sort of cannibal now. I'm just waiting for the bit where they just go. Yeah, we're nonsense. We're now nonsense. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice watching. What do you call it? I've been watching Biden and the Democrats go odds over college debt. This is gonna be a fun show. Just keep your eye on that one.
Yeah, I saw the emergence of that because it turns out Biden is a establishment Democrat to many shock. Who would have thought?
Yes.
Imagine being that retarded and not figuring it out at this stage.
Don't call people retarded for their desperation of hope. They're just desperate. They literally have no heroes.
I'm sorry, but I'm watching. I follow the Biden voters post their L's, and it's some of those accounts, some of those people, they are mentally challenged at best. But anyway, yes, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Hopefully, this stream will be up